The female servant's revenge at the final moment, a story more dramatic than a romantic CEO movie, about the grievance of a female servant named Isabel. She was brutally and cruelly murdered by an earl with a hedonistic lifestyle. Afterward, Isabel was granted a second chance by the scales of justice, to live again in a different body 10 years later. What is remarkable is that Rita, her little daughter from back then, has now become Countess Grey, the stepmother of the man who killed her mother. Will the two recognize each other, and work together to avenge the meticulously planned murder that he committed against Isabel years ago? Follow Lisa Manhwa to find out. Back to the moment 10 years ago, she was busy with work when she heard someone calling, "Isabel, why do you live like this, constantly pushing yourself?" She turned her gaze towards them. In her heart, she sighed, "It is because of the masquerade ball organized by the Earl. I have been working tirelessly for a whole week, day and night." Seeing their curious gazes, Isabel casually replied, "Just because I am alive." Then she quickly left. Giving the other maids a chance to mock, "She is from the worst slum." Among the maids, Isabel was the one with the lowest background and was constantly bullied. She was used to such treatment, and simply worked herself to exhaustion, knowing that she would be the first to be fired if she gave them an excuse. Isabel did not try to climb up in life. She did not have anything she wanted to protect her own. Because she was alive, she tried to do better. And then, over time, that effort paid off. Isabel was recognized for her skills and became the only personal maid of Lady Diana. But even when she became the personal maid of a noble, life did not suddenly become special, but empty and meaningless. Life went on like that. Isabel gave birth to Margarita. Seeing her daughter nestled in her arms, Isabel could not help but feel anxious. The chair the two were sitting on suddenly wobbled. Margarita began to feel uneasy. Then she started to cry. Seeing this, Isabel's eyes also began to water. After comforting Margarita, Isabel also felt the moment when color began to fill her gray life. Afterward, Isabel humbled herself even more than before. She thought that if she remained silent and content, she could live peacefully with her daughter. The two had happy days. But despite all her efforts, she eventually died in the most unjust way, leaving her daughter behind. Isabel was grabbed by the hair and dragged away, along with the curses, "Murderer," dragging her to the square. The murderer of Countess Grey. Despite Isabel's constant pleas, "I did not kill anyone, please no," the man still did not stop attacking. She only just managed to look up. Then she felt the utmost pain in her body. Until she woke up with a start. Isabel found herself lying in a strange room. She panicked and sat up. In her heart, she could not help but feel confused. I was definitely being whipped in that square. How am I still alive? Isabel's eyes widened in shock when she discovered. My hands, why are they so clean? It is like they are not mine. What is this? My legs hurt, not my back where I was hit the most. Isabel looked around again. Something's not right. She stood there stunned. Then she saw a strange image in the mirror. This face, it is not me. Someone's coming. What should I do? After opening the door and entering, the man said happily, "You are finally awake." But he did not expect to be attacked by Isabel, and was pushed hard against the wall by her. Then she strangled him until he suffocated. After a while, the man struggled to break free. Isabel seemed to have realized something, which made her slowly loosen her hands. Then she panicked and backed away. Afterward, she kept blaming herself. Why did I do that? My body moved on its own. The man began to regain his senses. Then he looked surprised when he saw Isabel approaching. Are you okay? He immediately stood up. I am a doctor. I just took you in and treated you after finding you collapsed in the alley behind. Isabel explained awkwardly. I am sorry, I was too stressed. Do you know why I was in that alley? He widened his eyes in surprise again. Don't you know? I can only explain your condition. You have a gunshot wound in your thigh. It only grazed you, so you will recover quickly. The problem is, there is a deadly poison running through your body. If we can't neutralize it in time, you only have 1 year to live. This information made Isabel feel extremely depressed, when she saw that she had become someone else and was also infected with poison. The doctor tried to comfort her. You should try seeing other doctors, I think they can help. A thought flashed through Isabel's mind as she touched the wound. If the pain is evidence of reality, then this is real. That means I originally died. And I was granted a second life in someone else's body. It is absurd, but I understand the situation now. There is only one thing I need to do next. Find my daughter Margarita. Rita may not recognize me, but that is okay. Even if I can't be her mother now, I can be her guardian. Or I will find someone else to take care of her. What time is it now? Is it right after I died? Then Rita probably does not know anything yet. Isabel quickly inquired, Doctor, is it December 800 now? He hurriedly replied, Isn't this year 810? That information shocked her. What year did you say? He reaffirmed firmly, exactly February 910. This made Isabel feel disappointed. 10 years and 2 months have passed since I died. Rita was 10 years old then. So now she is 20 years old. 10 years of loneliness in a harsh world, even for adults. Is she still alive? Isabel hurriedly asked, Doctor, is there a newspaper? She followed his instructions along with her thoughts. I have to find her, no matter what. My daughter, Margarita. Isabel's eyes suddenly lit up when she read the newspaper and blurted out, Margarita. The doctor standing next to her also asked curiously, if you said Rita in the press, are you talking about Countess Grey? The information she read left Isabel stunned for a long time. That is my daughter, it is definitely Rita, but Rita, how could she? The memories of being abused before her death suddenly flooded her mind, causing her to be startled and terrified. When she realized it was Countess Grey. The husband of Countess Diana Grey, whom Isabel used to serve, was a depraved man who had many lovers even after marriage. Despite all the affairs, why did not he divorce? That is because the royal law does not allow divorce in cases of mourning. Considering his convincing motive for murder, and the ability to plan a case, Earl Grey is probably the one who really killed his wife. There is no way Rita would not know that. Returning to the past when Rita was having dinner next to Isabel. Then she heard a knock on the door and wondered who could be coming at this hour. A voice continued to sound behind the door, Miss Isabel, are you there? Isabel felt uneasy again. She quickly diverted her daughter's attention. Rita, wait a minute. Want to play hide and seek? You have to hide really well until I find you, remember Rita? The little girl obediently followed Isabel's suggestion and looked for a hiding place. And she decided to stand and observe the situation for a while longer. Then she heard a strange voice urging, open the door, Isabel. She slowly walked towards the door, still counting rhythmically. And Rita innocently found a safe hiding place. The door was kicked open by 3 men. Causing Isabel to ask awkwardly, who are you to barge in without permission? One of them grabbed her hand and shouted, Isabel. She was arrested on suspicion of murdering Countess Grey. Isabel was dragged away even though she tried to explain, I am innocent, there is some mistake here, is not there. Rita in the dark corner only knew to keep silent to keep herself safe. Soon after in the public square, Isabel was beaten even though there was no evidence, witnesses, or even an interrogation demanding she confess. He grabbed her hair along with a provocative remark, stop resisting and just die. This will end when you die, you are just unlucky. Then the Earl coldly let go. Isabel, knowing his scheme, tried to shout, Sir Knight, you said you would give me money as promised, right? You said you would give me a lot of money if I did as you said. He replied awkwardly, what, you crazy woman? Then he swung his hand and killed Isabel without hesitation. Isabel's purpose in shouting was to sow doubt in the minds of the crowd, so that even if she died, the child she left behind would not be humiliated. If Isabel knew this would happen, she would have cooked more stew. She continued to look at the picture of the Countess. Along with the thought, the case of Countess Diana must have been on the front page, when I was teaching Rita to read, so Rita must have read it. No way, are you trying to avenge your mother, avenge Earl Grey? The next day Isabel said goodbye, I am very grateful to you, doctor. He also asked curiously, where are you going? Seeing Isabel hand over a newspaper, the doctor gradually understood, so Grey Mansion in the capital is looking for maids. Isabel before leaving did not forget to express her doubts, but doctor, why did you save me? He replied awkwardly, you look about the age of my younger sister. Obviously you would die if I left you alone, I am a doctor. Then I wish you a good journey. Don't forget to take the painkillers I prescribed for you. Isabel as soon as she got near the mansion heard people gossiping, look at all those guards, it is definitely because of that thief, they say he broke into Duke Mirabel's mansion last night. Apparently he was trying to steal documents. Isabel breathed a sigh of relief, the tense atmosphere, I hid my hair just in case, thank goodness I did. Anyway, there is only one thing I have to do. Go to Grey Mansion. Calm down, standing out is not good. Especially when the guards are investigating. The guards had caught women with hair color and height similar to this body. And judging by what people were whispering about last night, that checkpoint was to search for the intruder in Duke Mirabel's mansion. And the possibility is that this body is too tall. The doctor who helped me must have heard the rumors, he must be panicking. Luckily I changed clothes before going out. They clearly have to check right before boarding, so I have to get away from them before then. The trains going south and going to the capital go in opposite directions. If I pretend to follow the train south to lure the guards, then switch to the train to the capital. Just a little bit more. Damn it, another dead end. She hurriedly made a suggestion, 1 ticket to the south train, please. The ticket seller replied hastily, only 1 minute left to depart. The guard stared intently at Isabel. She quickly added, that does not matter. The guard shouted, red hair, red hair. Taking advantage of that urgent situation, Isabel shouted even louder, that train, 1 ticket for that train, hurry up. The old man just handed the ticket. Eileen snatched it and ran away immediately. The policeman behind saw something suspicious and immediately shouted, "Warning. It is her, catch her, it is the train going south, do not let her escape, stop right now." Eileen ran wildly, faster, "My legs, please, I can't get caught. Like this, it can't end like this." The hand behind her got closer and closer to her auburn hair. No way. Eileen saw the waiter pushing a luggage cart. Her mind quickly jumped. Eileen took a run and stomped her feet, jumping high over the luggage cart, at the same time causing the luggage on the cart to fall down. The policemen were obstructed by the pile of things in front of them. "I can't see the front, damn it. We have lost track of the suspect, she is on the train, stop it. It is already departed, we can't stop it, chase after, board the train by force." While those stupid people chased after the train going south, Eileen secretly stood hiding behind the wall. When she got rid of them, she leisurely went to another train. Going to the capital, the train to the capital is about to depart, closing. Getting on this train, Eileen breathed a sigh of relief. The fact that the trains going to the capital and south departed at the same time was a stroke of luck. It is all thanks to this body. What kind of training did its owner go through? Leaning her head against the door looking out at the world, she murmured, 10 years, a lot of things must have changed, what should I do? Eileen arrived in the capital and rented a room in the 2nd Street. If the owner of this body is a spy, there may be unforeseen dangers, but then Eileen now had time to check her luggage, a gun. Inside the luggage there are dozens of fake IDs and a gun, among them, Bella less similar to my name might be useful. She decided to use this alias to scout the situation. Eileen noticed the gun in her hand, glad I did not open this at the senator's house. Suddenly her hands involuntarily trembled. This is the first time I have seen a gun, so why does it make me so scared? It is like I have a bad memory related to it. Eileen rubbed her head tiredly. I do not know, too many things have happened, I am exhausted, it is too much. Just for a moment, can't I rest? But as soon as she closed her eyes, the sound that haunted her for so long came out. Mom, Rita. Eileen woke up in shock after hearing her daughter's cry. She trembled full of self-blame. You have lost your mind. You have lost your mind, that child is still trying to appease that old devil. So, how can you have such carefree thoughts? Eileen kept slapping herself in the face. That gentle, quiet child, alone in that house, no one beside her, Rita. I am sorry. I am so sorry, my child. On the other side, Cern kept nagging in Ian's ear. Aren't you worried, Ian Kyung? About what? Ian asked casually. The informant we have been waiting for has disappeared. What if they were caught, killed, or tortured to reveal our information? Ian smiled brightly to reassure Cern. Worrying does not change anything. He is Earl Ian Repellis. Viscount Cern Victor also knew this, but he still felt confused. Suddenly Ian stopped Cern. He signaled for silence. Cern's head was filled with scary thoughts again. Are they pursuers? Is this my first real battle? No, Lord Ian Repellis, the war hero is right beside me. If it is him, he will definitely. Suddenly Ian clicked his tongue. Then he dragged Cern to run away. Run. Behind them, hurried footsteps came with shouts. Catch them quickly. Ian asked Cern about the situation behind. How many people are there? Cern panicked. 1, 2, 6. 6 people, Ian thought. 6. Then it is hard to fight while protecting Cern. So he gave an instruction. I will lure them to the left. Cern, move to the right. Yes. After Cern ran to the right, Ian pulled out his gun and pointed it at those people. Then turned around and continued to run. Behind him the commander ordered, take down the one with the gun first. Ian turned into a small alley. Behind him they were still chasing closely. They are going into the alley. When one of them just showed his face in the alley, he shouted, we caught them. Immediately after that shout, a burst of gunfire hit him. After the one in front fell, the one behind also had to go to heaven because he was hit by a bullet. The ones in the back immediately leaned against the wall. Hide, do not confront, find an opening. 2 are chasing Ian. He has taken down 2 already. The remaining 2 were in a state of tension. That gave me a big advantage. Ian jumped up high, clearly seeing the 2 below with their faces pale with fear. He acted quickly. One left without even seeing the opponent. The one behind just shouted the 2 words senior. Then he was taken down by Ian. He did not look scared at all. Ian pressed him down and questioned, enough, where is Eileen Nova? Eileen who? Ian added details, a woman with auburn hair and green eyes. You were ordered to chase her, were not you? The guy stammered, green eyes, red hair, is she still? Thanks for the information. Ian stood up straight and then shot him. She has not been caught or killed, is she still on the run? Or I just hope it is not a betrayal, Eileen Nova. When Ian was using a knife to dispose of these people, Cern screamed loudly, Lord Ian. Even 2 people are difficult, we will need more practice when we get back there, Cern, Ian muttered as he walked towards the sound. Cern was so scared that his soul flew away. I am sorry. Ian was still very calm, don't act or speak rashly. One guy was pointing a gun at Cern's head, ordering Ian, "Stop right now. Take one more step and this guy's head will be blown to bits." Ian actually listened. He bent down and dropped his gun on the ground and raised his voice. "Very good, then let us talk peacefully, lower your weapons and..." Before he finished speaking, the guy with the knife next to him held the knife to Ian's neck. "I refuse." He calmly said loudly, "You will regret it, I am fine, but that person is the heir of Marquis Victor. If he is injured or killed, the consequences will be greater than what you can bear." When they heard about Cern's status, they began to shrink back. Ian took advantage of their carelessness and broke free from the knife. Quickly picked up his gun. Then shot the guy who was threatening Cern. The guy holding the knife standing behind Ian was stabbed. It turned out that Cern had taken the knife and thrown it at him from who knows when. After escaping from the encirclement, Cern worriedly ran to Ian. "Lord Ian, are you okay?" "Oh, your hand is injured." Ian waved his hand. "That is for later." Eileen Nova does not seem to have been caught. Cern was surprised when he heard that. "What, then where could she be?" Ian, while treating the wound, replied, "With such constant chases, she may have fled to another area and is hiding. We have a backup appointment that was arranged for such a situation. Let us go there. We will go to the capital now." In a luxurious villa, there was a loud call. "Hey, Countess. You were laughing at me, were not you?" Margarita smiled contemptuously. "Of course not, Mrs. That, I am simply offering advice out of concern, in case you embarrass yourself. While you are listening, let me add one more thing." Margarita's momentum confused Vat. "Oh my, everyone came at the right time. Isn't Arthur too famous to attend your party, Mrs. Vat stammered. "Well, I had to ask a few times." "So you met him a few times?" Margarita kept asking. "Well, to convince him, of course I had to." Immediately, everyone gossiped. Arthur and Mrs. Vat. "Oh my god," as Margarita wanted, she quickly made a preemptive strike. "Absolutely right. I hope that precious relationship will last forever. Now, please excuse me." When Margarita left, the gossip was still there. "Mrs. Vat is in a relationship with the artist, so that is why Ken said he found a new muse." Margarita walked towards the carriage. The servant asked, "Madam, which game club do you want to go to today?" She gently ordered, "Go to Francois Night. I heard there is a limited edition wine that just arrived." Margarita Grey, the third wife of Earl Grey, is famous for her debauchery, a woman of unknown origin who was lucky enough to win the position of lady. A mysterious and beautiful figure, praised by the upper class in all fields for her rhetoric and intelligence. All of these are the titles that currently describe Margarita. As soon as she arrived, the playboys rushed to greet her. "Oh Margarita, it is an honor to meet you. I have always wanted to meet you in person. Do you remember me? I see you chose this place today." Looking at these scumbags, she wondered to herself, now, who could it be? Margarita kept that smile. But no one could recognize the coldness in her eyes. "Among them, who was involved in my mother's death, the false accusation was definitely from Earl Grey, but there must have been an accomplice." The compliments kept ringing out. "You are as beautiful as they say, Margarita. Anyone who was involved, in any form. I will kill you all." The long winter, no leaf could survive, the birds also scattered, creating an extremely bleak space. Eileen carried her luggage to go somewhere. "Sorry for being late, Rita." At Huron, the capital, Grey Mansion, Eileen entered. "Mother's back," she thought to herself. Eileen stood neatly and knocked on the door. "Come in." Before her stood a woman. "I am Marcia Dona, the chief housekeeper. You are here for the temporary maid position interview, right? State your name, age, and experience." Eileen used her alias to register. "Belle Arle, I am 26 years old. I have been working for 10 years, but the lady I served suddenly passed away, so I do not have a letter of recommendation." She paused slightly. 10 years, so do you know the mixing ratio for wood floor polish? Thanks to her experiences when she was alive, Eileen read fluently, 1/4 cup of beeswax and 1/2 cup of turpentine. She continued to ask, "What about polishing the fireplace frame?" "Apply graphite to the metal parts and wipe clean." "Which side do you serve drinks from?" "From the back right." Marcia seemed satisfied. "You are hired, go out and find Mary immediately." Eileen breathed a sigh of relief. "Okay, thank you." At this moment, a maid rushed in frantically. "Mrs. Dona, the lady is back." When Eileen heard lady, she quickly thought of Rita. Marcia ordered, "Gather everyone on the first floor. Belle, follow Mary, and change clothes immediately." "Yes, madam." Eileen's heart was racing. Rita is coming. The maids moved while gossiping. "The lady is back early, I knew it. Was the party boring today?" Eileen also stood in the ranks. She thought, the child who used to sleep so much is now out so late. Suddenly, someone spoke next to her, interrupting her train of thought. "Oh, you must be the new one, right?" Eileen shyly replied, "Hello, I am Belle, the new one." The other person happily introduced, "I am Ellie. It seems like we will be roommates. My room is the only one with a vacant bed right now." I see, I look forward to working with you. Me too. Also, later, while talking, Marcia interrupted the conversation. You there, quiet, the lady is coming. Ellie was scared, her whole body tensed up. Then she whispered to Eileen, can I invite a friend to the room later? Eileen smiled gently, of course, it will be easier to gather information if I am close to the people who have been working for a long time. The door slowly opened at this moment. The maids immediately bowed deeply, welcome home, madam. Eileen's heart was full of turmoil at this moment. I know she is no longer the child in my arms. The sharp sound of her high heels really made me realize that, 10 years, it has been too long. Suddenly, the red high heel stopped in front of Eileen. Margarita lifted Eileen's face, a new face. Hello, new maid. Eileen saw her daughter for the first time after 10 years. She thought she was still a child. When did you grow up so much? You have a thick layer of powder under your eyes. Are you really the child I knew, Rita? Eileen clutched her apron, suppressing her own emotions. Allow me to introduce myself, my name is Belle Arl. Eileen turned to the other direction and laughed. Okay, your eyes are very beautiful, try your best. When all the maids bowed, Eileen spoke up, the Countess's eyes are 10,000 times more beautiful. Margarita was a little surprised when she heard that. Then she smiled gently and continued walking. Marcia, Charles, come with me, the rest of you dismiss. Yes, madam. Eileen was a little disappointed. After returning to the room, Eileen, Ellie, and a small girl were gossiping. Ellie exploded, you are so lucky, Belle, saying things like that and still being able to leave peacefully. Eileen asked in surprise, the Countess does not like words like that. Yeah, she hates them. Every time the Countess came, all the maids tried to flatter her. They were all fired. How many were there in total? 23, we were so scared at that time. But today the Countess was not angry at all. Eileen heard that and pondered, it seems like she completely changed the staff after becoming the Countess. After the commotion, Ellie clapped her hands to focus everyone's attention. Okay, now let me introduce myself again. I am Ellie Smith, I am 21 years old this year. The remaining girl was also quick, and I am Hannah, I am 11 years old. Belle, how old are you? Eileen was caught off guard and stammered, 26, I almost said my real age. Hannah suddenly exclaimed excitedly, 26, then you are only 4 years younger than my mom, Eileen gently asked. So, where is your mom, in the laundry or the kitchen? The little girl answered honestly, my mom went to work far away, right Ellie? Eileen gently rubbed Hannah's head, usually the young maids will work with their mothers. Suddenly Ellie softly spoke, Belle. She shook her head, her face showing pain. Eileen glanced over and understood, so she passed away. A moment later, after Hannah returned to her room, Eileen asked, did you tuck Hannah in? Yes, I even saw her sleeping as beautiful as an angel. Eileen was curious at this time, so why did you hide the fact that her mother passed away from her, 11 years old? It is enough for her to understand. Ellie smiled gently, explaining to her, actually, I have told her many times. But Hannah always forgot. Eileen was a little stunned, impossible. Really, no matter how many times I tell her, the next morning she still asks, when will my mom come back? Hannah's mother died in a carriage accident, and of course she was there, seeing everything with her own eyes. This child still can't accept that her mother has passed away, so she is trying to forget it. Eileen bit her lip tightly, not letting emotions overwhelm her. When do you think Hannah will accept reality? Ellie sighed, propping her hand on the bed. Who knows, my mom also passed away early from a prolonged illness that never went away. Even now, every time I see wildflowers, I still remember that my mom liked them very much, and every night there is thunder and lightning. I remember every word of my mom's comfort, no matter how long it has been. The departure of an important person in life is still something we do not want to accept. Sadness and longing will follow us forever. Living with those memories, forever. Eileen suddenly asked a strange question. What if Ellie's mother died unjustly? She was also surprised by this question. You mean, assuming someone killed my mother, how would I take revenge? Even if my mother did not want me to do that, Eileen clutched her apron to hold back her grief. If she wanted me to live a life not full of hatred and bloodshed, but just hoped I would live happily even without her by my side. Ellie thought for a while and then replied, even so, I think I would still take revenge. Think about it, Belle, if you put yourself in the position of a parent rather than a child, and then your child dies unjustly, what would you be like? The words of the past rang in Eileen's head again, murderer, kill her. She deserves to die, that is right. Kill her. When Eileen was about to drown in those words, Ellie gently pulled her back to reality. You know what? I do not know about your past or what you have been through, Belle, but are you worried that your loved ones will be consumed by hatred? Whether they take revenge or not, is not that also a reason for them to live? I think they do that because they also want to continue living. Eileen thought before Ellie's words, so that is how it is. For Rita, is revenge the meaning of your life? Should I not stop you? But Rita, the dark circles under your eyes, even with careful makeup, still can't hide them. It keeps swirling in my mind, my child. Meanwhile, at number 9 Carino Street, her in Capital, Cern and Ian arrived at the meeting place but there was no one. Cern tentatively asked, "This address? Are you sure this is the address?" "Definitely." The two of them stared intently at the mailbox, but there was nothing inside. Could it be that she has not arrived in the capital yet? It is possible. Ian speculated, she may have been caught or worse, betrayed us. This guy still had not thought of it, so naive. He asked him, "So what now, Cern, what should we do now?" Cern was caught off guard and stunned. I have to say it." Then he started scratching his head anxiously. Ian was still very calm. "Of course, we can't ignore the training that Duke Victor personally requested." Cern came up with an idea. "While waiting for news, should we complete the initial investigation?" Ian immediately bit back. "Where? In the capital or back to the Duchy of Mirabelle that we abandoned?" Cern was immediately speechless. "I guess we do not need to go back anymore, right? There must be families allied with the Crown Prince in the capital, like the Mirabelle family." "That is right, so which family would it be?" Ian's attitude was so annoying. Cern was spinning in his thoughts. He was powerless. "I know, I definitely know, give me some more time to think." Ian then took a letter and gently tapped Cern's head. "Don't you remember, you were even invited?" Cern suddenly woke up. "That is right, the Grey family." As if he had won the lottery, Cern ran straight out excitedly. "It is decided, next target, let us go." Ian sighed wearily. "Run quickly, or I am afraid I will ask again." Ian slowly took out the necklace hidden in his collar. "Since I became an enemy of the Crown Prince, I thought we would never meet again." He looked at the emerald and recalled, "The day I was drawn into this battle, I swore that I would survive and take revenge. As for Earl Grey, who erased someone very dear to me from this world." Ian clenched the necklace tightly. His anger was indescribable. "I swear to take revenge at all costs." Isabel. The next morning at the villa. Someone was still yawning. "Why did you wake me up so early? I am so sleepy." But Isabel Jebnik seemed to be concerned about something else. "Last night, Rita appeared in my dream again. On the day I died, I told her to hide carefully and wait until I returned. The 10-year-old child kept waiting for her mother to come back. After many quiet days and nights." "How long have you been waiting for me?" "Rita, I can't come back anymore. I am sorry for not keeping my promise. But please, please come out quickly, please, even if I shout until my voice is hoarse, it is all in vain. All I remember are the memories before I died. I can't imagine what you have had to go through in the past 10 years. Marcia Dona announced the tasks again. "Everyone, listen up. Lord Ian Rapellis and Lord Cern Victor will be visiting today, according to the official schedule. A grand dinner party will be held in the afternoon." At the moment, Isabel was not paying attention due to the pain. "Oh, my head. Is it poisoning? Hopefully the painkillers will work soon." Suddenly Marcia called her. "Also, the new one, Belle Elliot. How much experience do you have in aristocratic social gatherings and entertainment?" Although slightly surprised, Isabel did not hide. "Not much." Before she could finish, Marcia interrupted. "Wait, that means you have done it before, right? Okay, you will be in charge of the reception today. Ask Ellie for details." "Okay, everyone dismiss." Ellie looked panicked and ran over. "Belle, this way. Change into your reception uniform. Now the thing to do is." Seeing her so flustered, Isabel needed to know the reason. "What is wrong?" Ellie recounted the event. "Lily, who was originally scheduled to welcome guests, fell from the second floor yesterday. She hit her head. Although she is still conscious, she is only saying nonsense. Lily seemed to have witnessed something very terrible. I have seen it. It is a ghost." Ellie still did not forget the main thing. "Anyway, please help us this time. Are you done changing?" The color on Isabel's face was dropping. "I can't say that I have a headache." Before she could answer, Ellie grabbed her hand and pulled her away. "I am sorry, I am in a hurry." Isabel did not understand. "There is still time, right?" Ellie knew what she was doing. "No, there is not enough time. Because the guests arrived earlier than expected. He even arrived very early." Standing from the window, Isabel could see the person Ellie mentioned. Another maid poured tea for them first. "This is freshly brewed hot tea." Meanwhile, Isabel stood beside her, recalling information. "I have heard their names before when working for Countess Diana. The Marquis of the Victor family has a young heir, named Cern. The successor to the Rapellis territory is a young man named Ian. This is information from 15 years ago, before I passed away. In the battle for the imperial succession, the Grey family and the Duchy of Mirabelle supported the current crown prince. The house of Earl Rapellis and the house of Marquis Victor were factions supporting the third prince. However, after the death of his older brother, the second prince, the third prince fell into a state of mental breakdown. He was even injured in the leg, making his chances of inheriting the throne almost non-existent. Everyone thought that the third prince, along with his supporters, the Rapellis and Victor families, were completely out of hope. Even so, for some reason, now, the third prince has returned and publicly confronted the crown prince. However, what puzzled many people was why the Grey family was involved in this. Is not this land considered hostile territory to them? More importantly, what puzzles me is that that person looks quite familiar. How strange, I am not the type to easily forget someone's face. Gentle demeanor, blue hair, light brown eyes, with a gentle and deep look. This person is definitely familiar, but I can't put a name to that memory, or am I just imagining things? Suddenly Isabel had an uncomfortable feeling. Because the person she was discussing seemed to be seeing through her. Isabel immediately turned away with a guilty conscience. What just happened? Was he just looking at me? Was he looking at me? The teacup in Ian's hand slammed down on the table. This tea is a little too hot for my taste, can I have a glass of water? Just that much Isabel could see. This was a cold expression, clearly implying that the tea was not good. Bring the water out. That reason even CERN found ridiculous. It will be drinkable in a bit. Ian signaled for the other party. You, be quiet. Please bring me water. Isabel reassured herself. Calm down, be calm. Everything went very normally. Pouring tea also went very smoothly. Until Ian deliberately knocked over the glass that had just been filled with water. That attracted Isabel's attention. Her eyes were fixed on the glass that was about to fall. But Isabel managed to catch it in time. To the surprise of everyone. Except for Ian alone. Isabel stood still like that, her body reacted instinctively. I slipped up, he is testing me. I messed everything up. It is a test, calm down, if he knows I am panicking, I am done for. CERN could not believe his eyes, her reaction speed is not normal. At the same time Ian was gradually going deeper into the purpose. Thank God, this maid saved me. I will praise her to the Countess. What is your name? Now Isabel was sure, it is Belle Allet. Ian's smile said it all. Thank you, Miss Belle Allet. Isabel's mind was about to collapse. This man knows the real owner of this body. What is their relationship? Ian's gesture of putting the teacup down was still the same as before. I will ask the Countess for help. To assign you, the maid, as an assistant for my party. His attitude made Isabel think even more. What kind of relationship is it? An ally, or an enemy? If he is an ally, he would ask why I am here instead of carrying out the mission. If he is an enemy, he would not miss the opportunity to kill, capture, or torture me. Either way, this is the worst situation for me. Mother has not even had a proper conversation with you. And has not been able to do anything for you. Isabel's future was fading away. No, it is too early to give up. He deliberately dropped the glass to test my reaction. That shows that he is not completely sure just by looking at the surface. He must only know the name or see a picture of this person. Even so, it seems Ian does not remember clearly. In this case, I can still get past him. It was not until the room was empty that CERN dared to ask, Lord Ian, what was that just now? It is not like you at all. Ian was extremely cautious. Shoo. CERN looked towards the door and saw that everything was silent. Everyone's gone now, Lord Ian. Lock the windows too, Ian. Even if we are invited, this is still enemy territory. Keep your voice down. Do you remember the hair color and eye color of the maid who caught the glass? CERN stammered. Red brown hair and green eyes. Ian did not wait and immediately asked, red brown hair, green eyes, does that remind you of anything? The image of that person formed in CERN's head. Eileen Nova, right, Ian shook his head, just red brown hair and green eyes does not make her that person. CERN did not quite understand, but that is what you are thinking, right? Ian's face suddenly became blank. Me, based on what? CERN sighed helplessly, asking again. Ian understood what he was saying. He is still young, but at the age of 19, he should start paying attention to everything himself. CERN finally realized her name, because of the name Belle Allet. This intention is exactly what Ian is thinking. That is right. They often combine aliases with real blood relations to increase credibility. Allet is my mother's maiden name. If the false identity is exposed, it could cause a scandal, but who would dare to suspect the Countess Repellis is not? That fake name has a very specific purpose. To infiltrate the nobility, taking advantage of a faint but noble background from the Allet family. CERN saw nothing to worry about, but the person we met today is just a maid, is not she? Ian turned on deduction mode. That is the problem. But he did not say it out loud. Why would someone use a fake noble identity just to be hired as a servant? And if she is in the capital, why did not she appear at the rendezvous point? Gradually CERN also could not sit still. Should we start considering her a suspect? Ian said. Let us observe more during the banquet. There is one thing I am completely vague about. If she killed Nova and is impersonating her, then the goal is to approach us. But I have never met the real Eileen, I can't be sure. CERN stammered when he asked, should we prepare for bloodshed? Ian's heart and soul always said that he should not, he was still too young. He pondered and said, I really do not want things to get to that point. In the evening at the banquet venue. A voice echoed throughout the space, the Marchioness of Spear enters, Madame Charlotte enters. Isabel could not help but look up, heavy makeup. Now I have become close to Ellie for a while, she comes from the capital, until now I have never set foot in the south, let alone been on a train. If things get so bad that they can't be saved, I will use this. Hopefully I won't have to use it. A guest of the party warmly welcomed, Earl Ian Repellis and Lord Cern Victor are entering. I would like to express my infinite gratitude to all of you for attending today's banquet. We have tried our best to ensure that nothing is lacking. So, please eat and drink to your heart's content. Enjoy this party to the fullest. The banquet initially went quite smoothly. Everyone was chatting with each other very enthusiastically. But there was also a less respectful component, those beggars, arrest them all and lock them up. Those dirty beggars have been committing crimes all over the streets from night to day, locking them up in the camp will make the streets cleaner, right? Ian got annoyed, Baron, could you please lower your voice? He chuckled derisively, oh, does this topic make the young Baron uncomfortable? The younger generation should be more concerned about social issues. Isabel also observed the conversation, perfect, he won't have time to notice me. Ian picked up a bottle of wine and offered it, ah, you are absolutely right. Thank you for the enlightening lesson. In that spirit, let us raise a glass. Isabel silently thanked heaven, good, drink a lot, get drunk and forget I was ever here. The way Ian clinked glasses was forceful, let us raise a glass to the Baron's profound concern for society. He deliberately spilled wine into the other man's eye and smiled at Isabel, oh dear, it seems I have made another mistake. You will help me again, won't you, Maid? Ah, no, it is all right, let me call the Baron's servant. Isabel stood there dumbfounded, no way, is he doing this on purpose? Ian turned the situation around again, I need you here to take care of me, Maid. Hey, it seems the Baron needs to rest a bit. The maid immediately obeyed, ah, yes, sir. Sir Baron. Allow me to escort you to the resting area. This way, please. Ian held out his glass, ah, this maid, could you bring me some water, I drank a bit too much and I am thirsty now. That Baron's taken care of, now it is my turn. I need to stay calm. Before the water could be poured, Ian blocked the glass with his hand. He deliberately moved the glass away. You are trembling, you know, calm down. Isabel did not know what to say, this is not good, he is testing me. Calm down, my heart is beating too fast, he will notice. Ian slowly wiped his fingers, perhaps you are not very used to this maid work, are you? You seem quite nervous. There is still a chance for Isabel to turn this around. It is true, this is my first time serving nobles of such high status. I have only been a maid for a short while. But I apologize if I made any mistakes. Ellie suddenly chimed in, oh dear, perhaps Belle has made a mistake, on her behalf, I apologize to you, sir. She's been working with me for a long time, but this is the first time she has had to serve such important guests. Ian half smiled, ah, so that is why your hands are so sweaty. I did not mean to make things difficult for you. No need to pour me water anymore, thank you. Isabel looked at her hands, I am covered in sweat. What should I do, should I run away now? Either way, I do not want to use the knife. Margarita approached a man, Earl. I think it is time to change locations, what do you think? The other party smiled comfortably, if that is what you want, then of course. This scene made Isabel feel suffocated, can't watch. Then Margarita announced, now, we shall escort this esteemed guest to the game room. We will prepare the wine that His Highness the Prince himself gifted, so please enjoy the game to the fullest. Suddenly Ian wanted to say something, Countess, allow me to ask something first. May I bring the wine I prepared to offer everyone, if you do not mind? Margarita did not refuse, speaking of which, you did prepare something wonderful, did not you? I am looking forward to it. Ian proudly introduced, yes, this wine is limited. Only found in the famous vineyards in the neighboring Duchess's territory. It took a lot of effort to get myself a small bottle. People began to discuss excitedly, oh my, that is even more precious than His Highness's wine, shoo, you should be careful when saying such things. Tonight's party is truly top-notch. Ian quickly left, everyone, please enjoy the party first, I will be back later. Isabel was lost in her own thoughts, should I sneak out for a bit? Ian had no intention of going alone, come with me for a while, my temporary maid. Isabel followed him down the stairs. If I have to go to a secluded place, I must be ready to swing the knife at any moment. I do not know if this body will cooperate. After a while, Isabel heard a sound. She frantically turned around. Ian had closed the door tightly, you were thinking so much that you did not even realize you were walking ahead of me, huh? Isabel assessed the situation, now, if I want to get out of here, I have to confront him directly. A sealed, isolated room, one-on-one with a man bigger than me. Can I escape? Why is my body reacting like this? A strange voice began to echo in her ear, raise your hand, that is right, straighten it out, and next. Pull with all your might. At that moment, light appeared before her eyes. Isabel was calm, but her face was still horrified. He opened the door. I do not know what that memory is, or whose voice that was. I do not know anything right now, but there is one thing I am sure of. I am not afraid because he is a man, but because I am afraid of being alone with a noble. Why is that? Could there be something wrong with this body? Ian squatted down. Are you afraid of enclosed spaces? Use this, you are sweating a lot. Now then, Bel Alet. Isabel replied, yes, sir, Baron Repellis. Either way, I am not used to such formalities, just call me Ian. I won't beat around the bush. I believe you are Eileen Nova, am I correct? Isabel did not respond. What do I do now? Even if I deny it, what can he do? Ian added to increase persuasiveness, the evidence is the fake identity you are using, Bel Alet. Isabel could not believe what she was hearing. He even knows this body's fake identity. Then this person must be an ally of the person who created that fake identity. He is using the name I am familiar with, so I must be cautious of every action he takes. From the moment I used that identity, having this outcome was only a matter of time. At this point, Isabel gave a reason. To be honest with you, I have lost my memory. When I woke up, I could not remember anything at all. I know it is hard to believe, but I can't even be sure if I am really Eileen. Isabel thought, if he was really the enemy, he would have killed me when I was having trouble breathing. Thank goodness Ian is an ally, then I do not need to use this knife anymore. Ian's gaze became even more puzzled. I understand. Suddenly Ian held the knife close to Isabel's neck. She reacted very quickly. Her feet quickly jumped backwards. Don't come near me. Answer me quickly. Are we enemies of each other? Ian threw the dagger to the ground. I had no intention of hurting you, I was just testing you. Look, the knife has not even left its sheath. From the way you moved, you are definitely Eileen Nova. From your posture, reaction, to the way you answer, everything follows our family traditions. Clearly you were personally trained by my mother. I just wanted to confirm. Sorry for scaring you. I never thought a baron like Ian would have to bow his head to a servant. I am truly sorry. Isabel considered it the greatest honor of her life. In this lifetime, have I ever had a noble apologize sincerely like this? Bowing your head to apologize has always been the job of a servant like me. Either way, she wanted to confirm. Ian's knife was lying on the ground. Finally, Isabel could let her knife fall. Thank you, sir. Ian picked up the knife. It seems you really have lost your memory. Of course, I am an ally, and my apology is sincere, but you can't always trust the words of the enemy so easily. Furthermore, using a fake identity is a risky choice. If that name is being hunted, it would be serious. We will discuss it in more detail another time. Let us go back, Nova. Reflected in Isabel's eyes was a warm blue color. What was that just now? Why is that smile so warm and strangely familiar? Could it be that I met this person in a past life? Then why can't I remember anything? Evening at Isabel's resting place. That night, I had a nightmare. Beside her was a terrifying figure with an unclear face. Are you willing to listen now? Oh, Isabel, if you do not open your mouth, then you won't be able to answer. Until then, I will not be happy. Isabel woke up in extreme panic, a man I could not see the face of, threatening me with a gentle voice in my dream. Even though it is a dream, it is like it is real. Even so, I still can't remember if it ever happened. Could it be that when my body changed, I also lost some original memories? In a blink of an eye, the next day arrived. Isabel pushed the door open and entered. Hello, my name is Bel Alet, I am a maid. Ian was waiting here. You have arrived, Nova. Sir, and I will try to avoid touching the water, so you do not have to worry. Isabel was not used to sitting still on the chair. Indeed, these are thoughtful gestures, but the time after that felt like sitting on pins and needles. Why won't anyone let me do anything? She hesitantly asked. What about the laundry? Ian chuckled. It is all right, Nova, just sit there and rest. Isabel quickly looked for something else to do. Then let me pour tea for Mr. Cern, and some biscuits too. He always serves himself, no need. I can pour it myself, I have plenty of biscuits. Ah, do you want some? For the entire day, Isabel just sat and did nothing. I understand now. They are doing this so I do not have the opportunity to do anything. They still do not trust me. Ian suddenly stood up from his chair, leaving you sitting there. I almost forgot. I am sorry, Nova. Let me get something for you to read. To kill time, there is nothing better than a history book, right? Isabel flipped through the book, Continental History. Only the cover is in the Margaret Imperial language, the rest is all in a foreign language. Isabel smiled awkwardly. I will read it slowly. Ian did not bother her any further. Isabel's mood became even heavier. They are really constantly testing me. Ian conveniently announced. You do not need to come for the next few days, I will be going out. Isabel's eyes drooped, deliberately saying that you are going out like this. Are you trying to see if I will run away? She said. Have a safe trip, sir. Ian nodded, thank you. I hope you will enjoy your own time while I am away. As soon as she returned, Ellie greeted her, welcome home, Belle. Working with nobles is tiring, huh? This should have been Lily's job. Isabel's mind was more tired than her body. It is alright, it is easier than you think. Ellie collapsed onto the bed. By the way, why did Lily suddenly quit? She is not usually irresponsible like that. Hannah chimed in, oh, do not you know? Lily ran away because she is afraid of ghosts. Isabel chuckled to herself, indeed, that is something only children would say. Ellie scolded, don't say that, Hannah. If you keep lying like that, Miss Donna will scold you. Hannah struggled fiercely, I am not lying, I heard Lily say she saw a ghost. Ellie began to nag, hey, are you going to keep saying that? When I say stop, you stop. Hannah ran to the door and made a face, I hate you, Ellie, have fun alone or not. Isabel suddenly felt a little worried, so, those words just now were about the previous maid, Lily. Ellie sighed, Belle, you really have a good memory. But it is true that after she fainted on the stairs, Lily talked about ghosts all day. We tried to stop Hannah from talking because Miss Donna said we had to keep order. Isabel simply thought, if I leave it alone, it will probably die down on its own. However, what Ellie wanted to say was not this, it would be good if everyone did not think about quitting just because of it, because Lily did not say I saw a ghost, but she said, that ghost will kill us all. I did not see it myself, but according to a maid who witnessed it. She said it in such a desperate and chilling tone. The story spread, becoming increasingly embellished, with rumors that the mansion was haunted, that they should quit immediately. According to the butler, it has become a severely distorted rumor. Isabel also understood the core issue, if many maids quit after this, the rumor will definitely spread outside. Ellie's mind was also about to be messed up, that is why the butler is trying to shut everyone up strictly. Once Olga returns, she will surely resolve it properly. Isabel immediately asked when she heard it, that person's name, is it? Ellie quickly explained, her name is Ista Olga. In Isabel's heart, she felt happy, Ista Olga, I did not think there was anyone I did not know who was still around after 10 years, but it is her. She was the one who took me out of the slums, where I lived alone, and helped me become a maid in this mansion. A benefactor, a teacher, and an old friend. Alright, in this body, I can't even greet her as an acquaintance. Ellie should also consider a few things, thinking about it, this is the first time you have met Olga, right Belle? Listen, you really have to be careful. About Olga, she is really scary. The next day, Ista officially returned to the mansion. While I was away, I heard Lily quit, is that right? Isabel suddenly felt afraid, what is this overwhelming presence? Olga in my memory, she often said vulgar words and was sometimes rude, but she always took care of everyone and had a cheerful way of speaking, so everyone loved and listened to her. She was such a kind person. Ista went straight to the point, everyone knows that Lily and I used to clean the mistress's room. So we need someone to replace them for the next few days. No one, is there anyone who volunteers? Then I will assign someone. Isabel volunteered, I will do it. Even so, Ista did not seem too surprised, the new one, follow me. She pushed the door open. This is the mistress's bedroom. First, dust everything. When looking at Ista's hand, Isabel remembered that hand once holding her hand. She has really changed a lot. What happened to Olga in the past 10 years? This room has also changed. Back when I was the mistress's personal maid, I cleaned this room more than my own. The wallpaper has been peeled off and replaced many times, the seams are peeling. The ceiling is faded and some of the furniture has been replaced. Ah, that table is still the same. The mistress's old table, Countess Diana, she almost always wrote or read novels and poetry. She often disguised herself as a commoner and participated in literary parties, considered odd by the nobility, a humble and simple mistress unusually compared to the nobility. Ista quickly reminded, hey. Don't just stand there, pick up the rug and shake it clean. Isabel looked around for a moment, she is quite picky. Something seemed to catch her eye. What is this, a dark red stain, long, running in a line, like. Ista quickly covered it with a cloth. There is nothing in this room that you are allowed to be curious about. Got it, new one. Ista lowered her head, whatever that stain is. The intention to hide it is too obvious. I will come back and check more carefully later, but after that, I was immediately kicked out of the bedroom, and transferred to the busy kitchen, making it difficult to find time to secretly investigate. Lunch break, servant's restroom. Isabel kept thinking about that, once Baron Repellis returns, I will have to go back there, so I have to investigate before that happens. Ellie called from afar, Belle. You came to eat lunch too. Isabel was a little surprised, this is the first time I have seen you eat on time, Ellie. Mentioning it made Ellie feel tired, taking care of nobles takes a lot of effort. I usually eat late, but today, the mistress is hosting a luncheon, so only the maids in charge are called. Thanks to that, I get to rest for a bit. We just started, so there are about 2 free hours. Isabel had an idea. That means, the mistress's bedroom is empty right now. And fortunately, both Olga and the butler have just started eating. This is my chance. If I throw away the untouched food, it will attract attention. Isabel whispered to Ellie, actually, I do not feel well. If I clean now, it will make everyone worried. Can you clean for me later? Ellie flinched slightly. Oh, of course. Do you feel very uncomfortable? Isabel smiled awkwardly. I will feel better after resting for a bit, thank you. Then Isabel slowly left the dining room. She walked slowly. Far enough from the restroom. Run. This hallway feels so long today. With all her might, Isabel ran quickly to the bedroom. No lights, no sound, empty. Isabel gently pushed the door open. If it is just a normal stain, changing the mattress and sheets is enough, but they have restricted my access, meaning that replacing it does not solve the problem. This is not a stain from a one-time accident, this is blood. It is clearer than before, it is still fresh, the foul, metallic smell hits my nose. Could it be abuse? Is Baron Grey abusing Rita? But the Baron I know would never do that to his wife, lover, or anyone. Why, just thinking about the fact that it is blood makes my head feel like it is splitting in two. I have to get out of here, someone might come. Isabel's steps were unsteady. Hurry. But just as she opened the door, she bumped into Margarita. Margarita did not seem too surprised. Hello. I did not feel well, so I left in the middle of the meal. Who knew I would meet a guest? Cigars and lighters. Oh no, oh never mind, it is nothing. Of course, the new maid would not know where I keep my cigars. Isabel's face turned pale. I am sorry, madam, I lost something while cleaning here yesterday, so I just stopped by to look for it a bit. Then Margarita lit a cigar. Oh, really, what exactly did you lose? Isabel quickly found an excuse. A turquoise ring. I still have not found it. Margarita's eyes said it all. Really, not birth control pills, poison, or a dead animal. Ah, or is that ring Anna Pyrrhus's salary? Isabel started to worry. It is my ring, madam, I will be quick. She thought, no, she does not believe me. If this continues, I will be kicked out of the mansion forever. There was no other way but for Isabel to prostrate herself. Madam, I am really sorry, I will never enter here without permission again. I swear I will never bother you again. That action surprised Margarita quite a bit. You really do not want to be kicked out to that extent, even if you have to beg me, a lowly countess. Isabel still did not stand up. Please, please forgive me. Margarita's eyes darkened slightly. Raise your head. I understand how desperate you are. But do not cry, tears do not solve anything. I will let it slide today, but come back and work well, okay? Then Isabel left in prolonged fatigue. Tears are useless. It turns out I have understood that bitter and lonely truth for a long time. My beloved daughter, who should have been at her most brilliant at the age of 20 like a budding flower, began to wither 10 years ago, silently crying and waiting for someone who will never return. Just because I failed to protect you. Even with only a tired body held together by medicine, I still tried to come here. But the blood stains on the bed, birth control pills, animal corpses, the names of women all remain a mystery to me. Sorry, Rita, because I am a mother who still does not understand enough. At a busy market. Ian had just left a store. Then he saw Cern starting to praise, everything here is new to me. Ian was too bored to say anything, he must be from the north, first time coming to the capital. Then Cern said so much, what is that over there, that glossy fruit, oh my, do you see it, what is it? What about that dried thing skewered on a stick? Is it edible? There are so many strange things that are not in the north. What are they anyway? Ian was about to explode. That is hardened candied fruit, that is. And this is the perfect time. Experience is the most valuable asset. Go, order everything yourself and try it all, Cern. Don't be shy, there is plenty of money. Seeing is believing, right, and do not buy anything for me, thank you very much. Ian had other things to do, he will wander around for a while, so I will go finish running errands. He said to the merchant, I will take this to go. 28 is enough. The vendor's movements were incredibly slow. Ian offered the money, keep the change. The vendor deliberately spoke a little louder, oh, how generous, then let me tell you a little secret about how to make fruit preserves. The current Countess Grey is acting very suspiciously. We have been asked to investigate what she is plotting. Ian nodded, thank you, I will try to follow your instructions properly. Everything Ian does is cautious. I have already sent a letter to the Shadow, so news will soon reach Mother and the third prince. Before that, I also sent a fake letter from the post office, just a son asking about his mother's health. Public agencies are all being monitored under the prince's orders, after all. If Eileen Nova had trauma about confined spaces and men from the start, then Mother would have eliminated her from intelligence work long ago. It is not like a fear that formed just after a year or two, it is too deeply ingrained. And if she has lost her memory, how does she still remember the trauma? Her manners, habits, and status all match perfectly. But that alone is not enough to dispel all suspicion. I have to find out the truth about her real identity. Isabel woke up after a long sleep. She sat up without making a sound. Carefully went out into the hallway. Her steps looked tired and lifeless. Her feet could not even stand firmly. Then Isabel fell to the floor. It is ridiculous, how can I protect my daughter when I can't even control my own body? But the thought that those fresh blood stains are still there is driving me almost crazy. If I do not do anything, I will lose my mind. Now, Rita always wears long sleeves covering her wrists, no matter how exposed her neck, shoulders, or back are, she never reveals her wrists. Perhaps those blood stains are the scars from binding her wrists. But in this mansion, besides the Earl, who would dare to bind the wrists of the mistress, if it was not the Earl, then there is only one most logical hypothesis. Rita bound herself. Does that make sense? Why? For what reason? Anyway, the most plausible hypothesis is that the Earl suddenly developed a strange fetish. I even sneaked into the back alley of the house. Is there anything else I can do? This place is. If you go around the path behind the garden, and follow the small trail hidden in the bushes, you will find a secret field, even the master of the mansion, the Earl, barely knows about. When I picked snowdrop flowers from here and made them into a pretty bouquet, Rita would spin around happily, smiling with the purest smile. That was one of my most favorite fleeting moments. Now, I am still lost, still looking for the way to save you, but I promise, no matter what, I will find you, just wait for me. Until then, let these flowers empower you. Good night, my daughter. It was quite a while later that Isabel returned. Next time, I should bring a candle. Suddenly, a voice rang out behind her. Hey, someone's there. Show yourself quickly. Isabel reacted quickly and grabbed the other person. Who goes out at this hour? Could it be someone like Anna Pyrrhus that Rita mentioned, who brings dead animals or birth control pills to torture her? No weapons, so they do not have bad intentions. No way, it is just a maid taking a walk. Oh no, I struck her with all my strength. Isabel, let go, I am sorry. Rowan choked. What are you doing, suddenly attacking people? From this moment on, Isabel always felt uneasy. I am really sorry, I was so scared, I thought you were a ghost. Rowan was still startled. With that blow, you could defeat a real ghost. My heart almost stopped. Oh, the new one, I heard you were sick. What are you doing here? Ellie covered your shift because she said you were sick. Only now did Isabel remember that Ellie has been taking care of and even taking over my work. Rowan looked around. It seems you came out to cool down a fever. It is better to go inside early. I would not have come out if I was not looking for my necklace. You still have a slight fever. Sick people should rest, for Ellie's sake too. You should get well soon and come back, got it? So in the end, the only thing in the second-floor hallway was a kind maid. This quietness made Isabel think that tomorrow everything would continue as normal. Until the next day, when she disappeared. The missing maid's roommate cried and wandered around the hallway all day. Rowan, stop joking and come out. Because of this, the rumors of ghosts on the second floor, which had subsided, spread again. It is the second floor again. That is right, Lily said she saw a ghost. She went to find something and never came back, alone, late at night. At the time, Rowan had been calm and said, I knew it, there is a ghost on the second floor. This made Isabel extremely hate herself. If only I had not left her there at the time. The maids kept disappearing mysteriously one by one. What is it about the second floor that makes this happen? Moreover, the second floor is a place they are only called to when cleaning is needed, not a place they frequent. That is where the Earl and Countess mainly stay. Rita's bedroom is also there. If this entire situation is related to her. If all of this is related to Rita in some way. Currently, I do not have enough information, so temporarily, I will guard outside the bedroom and observe. 2 weeks after that incident, Ian had also returned. He saw Isabel just wandering around absent-mindedly, calling her so much that she would not even look up. When Isabel was about to fall, Ian caught her. She felt a little embarrassed after his recent action. Suddenly Ian also felt awkward. Ah, this handkerchief, I thought you might not be comfortable wiping yourself. Isabel was thinking because she stayed up all night in the second-floor hallway. I am sorry. Ian did not blame her for this. It is all right. It seems you can't sleep when I am away. Cern, get me some tea. Cern, who was sulking, was also excited to return. Of course, I will get some snacks too, and maybe take a walk. Before anything, Ian snuffed it out. No, just the tea. Immediately the atmosphere around Cern turned black. I want to walk, run, breathe some fresh air. Besides, Isabel felt embarrassed because someone was pouring tea for her. I will do it. But Ian stopped her. No, Nova. You are not a real maid, remember, don't try too hard to act like one. That is when Isabel realized it clearly. He still does not believe I am Nova. He is experimenting, evaluating, observing every second, every minute. And I dared to fall asleep in front of such a person. If this continues, no matter who I really am, I will be finished. A dangerous unknown must be eliminated. No, I won't waste this life again. I can't disappear like this. I want to stay with Rita for as long as possible. In the remaining 1 year, even if it is risky, there is still a way to survive. Finally Isabel opened her mouth. Mr. Ian, I have a question. Do you need information similar to the document that I was assigned to retrieve? Ian seemed quite interested. Do you remember what it is? Isabel hesitantly said, I know what it is. Ian laughed loudly. So you know, not remember. Isabel began to exchange memories a bit. Eileen Nova, who is on a mission in the Duchy of Mirabelle. Ian and Cern from the Third Prince's faction are looking for her. After being unable to contact her, they moved to Grey Manor. It is easier to deduce than you think. The connection between the Crown Prince and the Third Prince is the answer. Isabel did not feel confident when she said, information related to corruption and misconduct of Duke Mirabelle. Ian just smiled without saying anything when he heard it. Isabel continued, if dispelling suspicion about me is not enough, then I will prove I am an ally by becoming useful. Ian was gradually drawn deeper into the story. With what information? Isabel knew that the other party was expecting her to say, the layout of the mansion, the staff's duty schedule, the habits and itineraries of the Earl and Countess. The entrances to secret tunnels and their structure I know it all. If you want to find anything in this mansion, I will help. And Ian completely agreed with her. Alright, the floor plan of the mansion including the secret passages would be extremely helpful, no matter how trustworthy the information is. Then I will put my hopes on your determination. Isabel's eyes were more determined than anyone. If I can't prove I am Nova, I just have to prove I am valuable enough to be alive even if I am not her. The lights in Isabel's bedroom window were still on. I deliberately did not draw the secret tunnel near Rita's room on the map. I do not care what happens to Earl Grey, but she must be safe. In principle, only the highest-ranking servants and the master of the mansion know about the secret passages. As the Countess's personal maid, I know every inch of the passageway near this room. Anyway. Before that, Ian had instructed, if you are in danger while helping me, take this pendant and go to Rapella's house or the territory of Marquis Victor. This is the reward for the map. You help me, and I help you in return. This reassured Isabel to some extent. Has he begun to trust me? Even so, he will still want a weakness to control Earl Grey, the Crown Prince's loyal dog. That means even Countess Rita could be harmed. Therefore, I must continue to stand guard, to ensure her safety. And so, every morning I crawled out from the second-floor closet, only to return late at night, repeating the same routine. Fortunately, so far there have been no signs of danger or suspicious people appearing. I have not gotten enough sleep in over a week, working during the day and guarding at night. How long can I keep this up? Even so, if something happens on the very day I decide to rest? Ellie's voice came from behind. Belle. I have been looking for you everywhere. There is a general meeting this morning, and you are nowhere to be found. Lately, you always disappear when I wake up. Are you getting any sleep? Isabel was curious. General meeting, why? Ellie shook her head. I do not know either, but after it is over, just rest. You look exhausted, Belle. Seriously, do not work so hard that everyone worries. Marcia stood high and announced, the second floor is now off limits until further notice. It seems someone sneaked up there, causing people to panic. Because of this, the rumors about ghosts never end. We have decided to restrict access until everything calms down. Isabel had some thoughts that needed to be confirmed. No way, no one entered the second floor while I was guarding. The second floor is the Earl and Countess's private area. What servant dares to play tricks there? So they are hiding something. They are going to such lengths to hide something. Then I have to check it myself. I need to know what is happening to Rita. Late night came again. Isabel hid behind the wall. As expected, they are guarding. Then there is only one way to get to the second floor. Climbing the outside wall and entering through the window. I know this action is really reckless. If I fall, I am sure to die. If not, I will never walk again. Even so, I have to do it. I can do it. With this body, it is possible. My strength is strong enough, my hands are firm enough, I just need to keep my balance. Carefully, breathe deeply. Don't rush, one step at a time. Okay, almost there. What comes will come. Isabel slipped and fell freely. She zipped past the window like the wind. Fortunately, Isabel gripped tightly at the window on the floor below. I almost died for real. Lucky my natural reflexes saved me. What will I discover tonight? Isabel shook her head and did not think about it anymore. A part of me hopes that there is nothing at all, forever. If possible, I would not want to know anything. If the truth is that my daughter is being abused, bound by some evil old man. Can I stay sane after witnessing it? But for someone like me, who abandoned her helpless daughter to choose death, being granted life again must be a reprimand from the gods, forcing me to save her. This time I won't run away, Rita. Another day passed. Isabel knelt before her daughter's room. Everything went smoothly yesterday, how fortunate. Tonight I will return, good night, my daughter. The door was suddenly opened by Margarita, just as I thought, it is you, is not it? The one who always leaves snowdrop flowers in front of my room. Isabel hurriedly explained, Madam, this is. Margarita seized the right to speak, I do not blame you, calm down. Restricting access to the second floor is because those rumors bother me. But I really like your flower gifts. Snowdrop flowers are one of my favorite flowers. Thank you for bringing them. Margarita picked it up and smelled it. Do you know what? Next time, instead of placing them in front of the door so sneakily, why do not you come in and arrange them in the vase yourself? Whether it is occasionally or daily, I do not mind, it is up to you, just keep bringing snowdrop flowers, they are perfect. Ah, and your eyes, strangely blue, they are like my eyes. Then, I will count on you to take care of the vase from now on. Isabel bowed her head and said, Yes, madam. And then the door closed. Inside, Margarita slumped down on the floor. She always looked at the flowers in the vase, cherishing them like treasures, mother. I have never forgotten, so please do not worry. I swear, I promise, I will take revenge for you, mother. That maid's eyes remind me of my mother. Although the blue color and the shape of the gaze are different, but my mother, who was once as gentle and beautiful as a blooming flower. My mother, who was always as steadfast and warm as the warmth of spring. The most precious memory of mine in this world. Once Isabel had read a story to her daughter until she fell asleep. Margarita still wanted to listen. Mother, what happened to that princess? That pulled Isabel from her drowsiness. After defeating the villain, the princess lived happily and peacefully ever after. Margarita was very happy, thank goodness. But mother, are you tired because of me? Even after tiring work, you still take the time to play with me. I am sorry. Isabel had never been tired because of her child. Oh, do not say that, my love. It is my fault for getting carried away with you and forgetting to sleep. But what can I do? The moments with you are the happiest time of my day, so precious that it is a waste to sleep. Margarita stopped reminiscing, she is not like mother at all. Really, not at all. Then why does that maid keep reminding me of mother? Why do memories of mother keep appearing when I see her? Isabel had returned to the restroom. Before anything, she was scolded by Ellie for a few sentences. I told you to rest, but you are still working. You look so weak, but you still sneak out. I reminded you to wear warm clothes in the cold, but you only wore a simple coat. Do you know where you went wrong? Isabel did not know what to say, sorry. Ellie was so angry she wanted to vomit blood. You only know how to apologize all the time. Isabel looked at the burning flame, but Ellie, why do you care about me so much? Ellie did not realize, do I? Is it that obvious? Isabel wanted to confirm again, of course, even now, you are still very considerate. This was not a big deal for Ellie. Well, would not anyone do that if a colleague is sick, right? Anyway, we are roommates, there is always that. Isabel remembered her previous life. Even if it was not related to herself, she was deeply concerned about those close to her. Just like Olga in the past. Isabel chuckled to herself, thank you. Ellie was a little embarrassed. I did not mean to eavesdrop. If so, can you help me with something? I have plans tonight, of course, I will report before I go, but if anyone asks, just say I went out. When she got the other party's agreement, Ellie was very happy, thank you. Isabel chuckled, you are welcome, have a fun date. Ellie froze her face. How did you know? No, we are not dating yet, it is not a date, just going out to dinner. Isabel continued to tease her. After that, Isabel went to Ian's room. He was also quite surprised when she came. You did not sleep last night again, did you? Isabel shook her head, not at all, I slept very well. Ian did not believe it and asked again, really? Isabel was answering while taking the coat, does he want me to wash it? She bowed her head, then I will go for a bit. Ian did not understand much, go where? The more Isabel said, the more confusing it became, to the laundry room, sir. Ian did not understand what she was saying, wash. No, it is not like that, it is for you to wear, did not you notice, you look tired and frozen. Perhaps there is a draft by the window, so sit here today. Isabel hesitantly sat on the chair, I should have proved myself, I am making myself look ridiculous, pathetic, really pathetic. Ian brought a cup of tea, please have some, it is warm ginger tea. What is wrong, do not you like it? Isabel said, I am not particularly fond of it. Ian laughed, this is the first time you have been so honest with me, but I added honey, so it won't be too bitter. Isabel slowly tasted it, he is clearly telling me to drink it whether I like it or not. 1 or 2 spoons of honey is not enough. Seeing her like that, Ian said, "It is better than you thought, right? Ginger is brewed for a shorter time than usual, then add 5 spoons of honey and 1 spoon of sugar to soothe the bitterness. This is a recipe someone I used to know taught me. This was originally Isabel's recipe. Who taught you this recipe? Are you close to the person who owns this recipe?" Ian looked away. "I can't reveal her name, but if you ask if we are close, you can say she is my benefactor." Isabel did not remember anything. Benefactor, what does he mean by benefactor? Did I save this man, when? I have no memory of it. What was that memory just now? It was so vivid that it could not be imagination, that clear voice I have heard before. Thinking back now, from the first day I met this man. Even when I saw him in the wine cellar, there was always a strange feeling like I had experienced it before. Isabel kept observing Ian. I felt like I used to know that boy, with soft, gentle blue hair, but if I shared this recipe with him, it means we used to be very close. Then why do not I remember anything? There is only one answer: my memory is not intact. There is definitely something wrong with me. My previous life's memories have gaps. Only now I realize that my memories have holes. Perhaps this is unavoidable after being resurrected from the dead. What else have I forgotten? A chilling feeling crept into the left corner of my heart. People were arguing back and forth in the room. "Hey, move that pile of supplies away, they are blocking the way, give us a break, building flood defenses is more important. Why is there a storm all of a sudden? Rain, not snow. Honestly, snow is better when it freezes." Isabel was afraid that she had forgotten even those precious memories. "It is even harder to climb the wall in this rain, I have to be careful not to slip." Suddenly there was a very piercing scream. Isabel immediately pushed the door open to see. It was a man's voice. "What is going on? What is happening here? Here, right here. It is a corpse." Many people gathered. "There is something like this under the bushes. Looks like a female maid. Is she dead?" "She is buried in the ground. Do you think she is alive? But who is it?" Jen's tears fell. "Get out of the way." Everyone shouted loudly. "Who is it? She is holding a shovel. Stop her. Someone stop her." Jen's hands trembled. This is Rowan's necklace." The scream echoed again, but it was strangely mournful. After Rowan's body was discovered, the entire mansion fell into chaos. The police rushed in to collect the remains, and the butler, Jen's roommate, and a few other maids were summoned for questioning. Olga ordered the remaining maids to return to their rooms early. Ellie said while crying, "Is it really Rowan? But why? How could this happen? Rowan is so kind, she has never hated anyone, so why would someone have to kill her?" Isabel could not help but speculate. Rowan was found buried in the ground near the flower beds of the mansion. The sudden heavy rain exposed her grave. If it was not for that rain, it might have remained hidden forever. Of course, if she had been buried deep enough from the start, it might never have been exposed. So instead of a premeditated murder, it is highly likely that Rowan was buried hastily after death by accident or outburst. There is a deep gash on the left side of her head. That means she fell from a height, hitting her head. It can't be suicide. Corpses can't bury themselves. Someone who is about to die won't desperately grab at the necklace like that. So perhaps she was startled by something. Lily said she saw a ghost on the 2nd floor and fell down the stairs in fear. If Rowan also stepped back towards the window in fright, that position would be under the hallway window, opposite Rita's room. Another incident on the 2nd floor. So what did Rowan see that scared her so much? The moment Rowan turned around, someone stepped out from the bedroom on the 2nd floor. When Rowan saw the figure coming, when the window was wide open, Rowan lost her balance and fell. Whether my suspicion is correct or not, tonight, when the butler is summoned to the police station, is the only opportunity to investigate Rita's room. Even if it is dangerous, I must go. Isabel followed the path of the window. She tried to climb through another window. The rain plus the fact that it is night means no one will notice. Not only that, but thunder and lightning drowned out the noise. The room Isabel arrived at had a lot of flowers. She stood in the middle of the balcony, feeling uneasy. Even though it was slippery, I managed to climb up here. From now on it will be easier. The sound of opening doors and footsteps will be masked by the rain. Just open this door, just that. Why hesitate? Open it. You have prepared so carefully. Are you going to tremble now after coming this far? Are you going to abandon Rita again? Open it. Face it directly. This time, you absolutely must not run away. In the darkness, the sound of rain made the scenery even gloomier. Eileen looked in horror at Margarita, who was tied to the bed. She screamed in pain helplessly. Margarita's tears flowed non-stop. Eileen stood frozen when she saw the scene. Eileen slowly walked towards her. Rita. Then Eileen excitedly ran over. Rita. Eileen sadly embraced Margarita. She slowly untied the ropes on her mouth. Margarita painfully called out, "Don't go, please do not leave me, Mother." Eileen helplessly watched her daughter sadly call out, "Mother." Her whole body lost strength and fell to the ground. Margarita's pleas kept coming out. Please do not leave me, mother. Eileen painfully covered her mouth while she sadly kept calling, mother, please, do not. Her voice was so helpless and desperate, please, mother. Suddenly, a large lightning bolt flashed outside the window. When she heard Margarita scream in pain, Eileen realized something and worried, Rita's arm. She rushed over, no, my love, stop. Your wound will tear open. Please stop, no, stop it. Eileen painfully hugged Margarita's agitated arm, please. She could not help but shout loudly, stop it. Margarita's arm slapped straight into her face. Eileen painfully held her slapped cheek. Suddenly, her gloomy voice woke Eileen, what the hell, when did you get in here? Eileen fearfully looked at her daughter holding a knife. She angrily stabbed the knife towards her. I asked, how long have you been here? Eileen fearfully stood up quickly, dangerous. The knife quickly pointed straight at Eileen's face. The sharp point of the knife quickly pointed at her eyes. Suddenly, the sharp point grazed past Eileen's eye and cut some of her hair. Outside, a large gust of wind rushed into the room. This is not good, she has seen me, I have to think of an excuse quickly. She hurriedly spoke, Madam, I. But when she saw Margarita's sad appearance, her eyes, unfocused, she growled, I will kill you. Eileen sadly looked at Margarita, she was wildly swinging the knife, not even aiming at her, she really could not see her, she was not fully conscious, is this Rita's subconscious state? Eileen's angry shout still rang out, I will kill everyone, kill them all. Suddenly, there was a loud shout from outside, there is a shout from the madam's bedroom. Eileen was horrified to realize, the guards heard the shout. I have to escape, if I get caught, everything will be over. Eileen hurriedly turned around to leave. At this time, Margarita's eyes had regained a little consciousness. She looked at Eileen's leaving figure and whispered, Mother. No, please do not go. I will kill everyone, kill them all. Eileen suddenly stopped and could not move. It turned out that Margarita was hugging her tightly, begging, don't leave me. Outside, the sound of the guards was getting closer. Margarita's weak voice rang out, please stay. She hugged Eileen's legs tightly and cried like a child, don't go, Mother. Panic-stricken voices rang out, Mother, hurry up, quickly, Madam. Suddenly Ista opened the door and shouted, Madam, are you all right? She looked in horror at Margarita, who was painfully on the ground, and worried, Madam. The crowd hurriedly ran to the window, the intruder escaped through the balcony, Madam, and she was still sadly calling, don't, please do not abandon me, Mother. The maids loudly announced, there, chase after her, do not let her escape, we must catch her, chase after her, hurry, she is running towards the annex, where should I run now? It is hard to see the road in this heavy rain, what should I do? Eileen gritted her teeth and looked at the building in front of her, damn it, why is it the main building, the guards will catch up to me soon, and there is no other escape route. If I keep running like this, I might never see Rita again. Suddenly, a voice called from above, Nova. Above, Ian was reaching out his hand, here. A look of determination appeared in Eileen's eyes, no, I must stay here at all costs, I can't leave my daughter trapped in that nightmare. She quickly ran closer to the window. Then, in a flash, Eileen jumped up. She firmly grasped Ian's hand and made a decision, I absolutely cannot give her up. Eileen tightly hugged Ian's body. Ian quickly pulled her up and urged, the guards will raid this place soon. Hurry, follow me. Cover your clothes and head with these blankets. Cover completely up to your neck, I have a plan. Eileen hesitantly called, Mr. Ian. Ian did not care and hurriedly said, I am counting on you, Saren. He replied, yes, sir. Eileen hid inside worriedly, what are you planning? He gestured, shoo, it will only take a moment. I know it is very uncomfortable, but please endure a little longer, this is our best chance. Outside, Cern was hurriedly wiping the water stains on the floor. Suddenly, urgent footsteps came from behind the door. Cern looked back in surprise, beside Eileen and Ian also held their breath and waited. The door slowly creaked open. A group of people with serious expressions spoke, please forgive our intrusion. Earl Repellis, Viscount Victor. Cern calmly cleared his throat, what is with this sudden appearance, the soldier said, we have discovered an intruder entered here. It seems very impolite, but we must briefly inspect this room, the safety of the guests and the manor depends on it. Eileen fearfully covered her head, they know already. They have seen everything, what should I do? Beside her, Ian was slowly unbuttoning his shirt. Cern tried to deal with it, no, I do not think you should do that right now. Suddenly, the soldier rushed straight inside, it is really inappropriate to say this in the current situation, but as you know, Earl Grey and the Repellis family do not have the best relationship. Oh my god. Cern angrily shouted, even if there are 50 people, barging in like this is unacceptable, the guard calmly said, I apologize. We will be willing to accept any punishment from our Earl afterwards for this disrespect, he fearfully said, wait, please do not, Mr. Ian is inside. Beside her, Eileen desperately closed her eyes. This is the end. Suddenly Ian pressed down on her. From now on, please forgive me for this, Nova. Eileen was still blank, not understanding what was happening. What? He quickly hugged her inside his arms. The soldier hurriedly opened the door. Earl, just a moment. Bah, Baron Repellis. Ian growled, of course I did not expect to have guests at this hour. The soldier explained, there is a dangerous intruder in the manor, if we could just glance at the face of your companion. He laughed mockingly, what is that, are you really wanting to see the undressed state of my lady? They hurriedly raised their hands to show goodwill. No, not that. We just. Her face, that is enough. Ian shouted, the next disrespect will only tire us both. You have ruined my mood and made my companion so uncomfortable. Shouldn't you be grateful enough that I have tolerated this intrusion at this hour? They were weak. We sincerely apologize. A moment later, the soldiers also left. Ian turned over and said, it is safe now. I know it is really uncomfortable to endure such unwanted contact. But this is the most certain method. Really, I am sorry. The scene changed. At this time Ian was giving her a glass of water. Even if you do not like it, take this. You must increase your body temperature, after being soaked by the rain. You must warm yourself. Honestly, I have a lot of questions, starting with what you did to fall into such a situation of being chased. He suspiciously called her name, Nova, Aileen Nova. She stared at him with dazed eyes. This shocked Ian. Nova, what on earth happened to you? She hurriedly bowed her head to hide her expression. Eileen slowly said, currently then, no, I will explain everything later. Understood. Ian slowly said, promise me that you will explain later. The scene changed to the outside. At this time it was still raining. The mansion gradually sank into the quiet night. Ian looked at Eileen and asked, you wanted to leave already, wait a moment. It is still raining, so take this umbrella, you will catch a cold if you do not. She slowly replied, thank you, Mr. Ian. Then, see you tomorrow. Ian stood by the window and pondered, although very suspicious, but she showed extreme tolerance, more than necessary. Although I doubt whether she will use that umbrella, a person with eyes like that won't care about something as trivial as the rain. The scene quickly changed. At this time Eileen had escaped to the outside. She painfully looked down at the ground. Rita, the flowers, I must give it to my daughter. The rain has ruined all the flowers. Not here, but near the central fountain, there might still be a few. At the place of a small fountain. Eileen was slowly observing. Fortunately, thanks to the fountain's roof, some flowers have been sheltered. With these flowers, for Rita. I will make a bouquet for her, a big one. She reached out to pick those flowers, so beautiful, something so spectacular. Enough to make her forget all about her mother. When Eileen woke up, her hands were covered in blood. She suspiciously asked herself, above all, there is blood on the flowers again. I can't possibly give my daughter something like this, these flowers stained with gruesome blood. Why can't I even give my daughter something as simple as beautiful flowers? Even this simple gesture, just simply handing over flowers. She painfully cried loudly in the rain, it is all my fault, Rita's pain, everything. Images of the past appeared, that day. I did not just simply die from the whip slashes, the thing that truly ended my life, was my own hand. Images of memories from a past life appeared, the death that I received, was not easy, they did not let me leave peacefully. That pain, made me choose an extreme path. Her unfaithful husband loudly scolded, you were shouting and resisting so much earlier, why are you silent now? Just as I thought, after a beating. Then Eileen stood up, I should have endured more. He was horrified, what? He fearfully looked at her holding the sword in her hand, you are crazy. He angrily questioned, killing the countess is not enough, now you are planning to hurt others too. Everyone shouted in horror, she cut her own throat, I should not have chosen that way. Even though I knew I would leave my daughter alone, at that moment, for my own peace, I ran away. If I could hold on until the end, if I survived and returned to her side. Then Rita, my daughter, could have grown up happily, without knowing loneliness or hatred. If ending my life is a crime, then let the punishment only fall on me. Why drag Rita in too? Suddenly there was an umbrella covering Eileen. Ian appeared before her, Nova. She looked up with a tear-streaked face. He still slowly asked, may I wipe your tears? Please allow me. What is it that makes you so sad? She sobbed and cried, yes. She poured out her heart to him, actually, I gave up, I could not protect her. I should not have given up, but it was too difficult, so I let go, I turned my back, I ran away. If I endured until the end, maybe I could have protected her. It was me, who abandoned her, who betrayed her. He was silent for a moment and then spoke, then let me ask, what you wanted to protect, has turned to ashes, can never be seen again. Has gone so far that it only exists in regret. If not, if you still have a chance, then now is not the time to collapse. From now on, protect what is still within reach. There is definitely something you can do. Whatever it is, in whatever way. It will be better than giving up everything in despair. Then, please be careful on your way home, Nova. She silently thought, a warm, kind voice, but the advice is firm and clear. Eileen followed his gaze as he left, and yet, the face hidden behind that voice is no less sorrowful than mine. I can't take my eyes off the back of the person who is leaving. The scene changed to a room. Margarita held her face with a headache. She tiredly thought, again, last night's nightmare. Looking at the knife still left outside, I must have swung it, my arm is bruised again. What did I do again? At this time, there was a long streak of blood on the bed. She wearily got off the bed. The female caretaker is still at the police station, so Olga must have cleaned everything up. Only the caretaker and Olga know that I often wander around the house at night. If I kept swinging the knife, the scene must have been horrible. But they let me sleep, meaning things were even worse if I woke up. Who knows, the next morning, the whole capital would be flooded with news about the Grey family. The police and magistrates would rush in to investigate, even reaching the ears of Earl Grey, who was working in the south. I must know what happened last night. At this time Olga entered. You called me, madam. Margarita calmly said, you know why I called. If you want to handle it, you must understand the situation clearly. Speak. Olga reported in detail. As always, I was guarding on the second floor. She heard you scream and ran over. At that time, the balcony door was wide open, the ropes binding your hands had been torn apart. She hurriedly sent soldiers to hunt down, but the intruder escaped. Margarita calmly muttered, ran away, that is what you said. If I woke up at that time, it would definitely only make things worse. Olga worried, it seems that person clearly saw your face, madam, if the rumor spread again. She questioned, what rumors, she said, madam knows, right. Margarita slowly walked towards the bed, that the ghost on the second floor is actually the Mad Countess. She picked up the knife. Or, that the Mad Countess wanders around at night, holding a knife, something like that, right. Well, both are true. Olga turned pale, madam, if those rumors reach the Earl's ears. She calmly said, we all know what will happen, I will be dragged back to the Grey estate in the countryside, locked up until I die, won't I? Olga respectfully said, Lady Rita, I am really worried about you. Margarita calmly replied, I know. Don't make that face, Olga. The unfortunate witnesses in the past, Lily and Rowan, we know who they are clearly, so we blocked the news immediately. But this time it is a deliberate intruder, we do not know who he is, and we do not know what he wants. That is the problem. Under the blanket was a shining button. Olga was still worried, Rita, this time, really, how can I help you? Margarita smiled and replied, it is all right, Olga. Huh. You do not need to worry too much. Fortunately, the rumor won't get out, this button is from the Grey family. The answer is simple, someone dropped it, the intruder is a servant in the house. At this time on Eileen's wrist, the button had disappeared. Olga asked in surprise, what do you mean? Margarita said, from here on out it is just my speculation, but I think it is quite accurate. The intruder risked his life to confirm me directly, if he just wanted to spread the rumor, that action is too much, and if he could escape from the soldiers he definitely has the ability. But he was so clumsy that he dropped a button while escaping. She wondered, isn't it belong to one of our servants? Margarita confirmed, that is right, it has the Grey family crest engraved on it. It seems someone infiltrated and became a servant to report the news. If he just wanted to spread the news, he would not need to do that. He has to see with his own eyes, meaning there is another purpose, but he failed and was chased by the soldiers. In that case, he will definitely strike again. We can't search and interrogate all the servants, making it too big, he will escape. Please follow my plan. From now on, record anyone who asks for a new button or uniform, and soon, issue new uniforms, collect the old uniforms. By the way, also handle the matter of Rowan, the unfortunate maid who fell to her death after seeing me in the second-floor hallway. Send compensation to her family, under the name of the Grey family, even if it does not make up for anything, if not for me, she would have been safe. Olga immediately bowed her head to receive the order, yes. Everything will be as you wish, madam. At this time Margarita was resting her hand on her forehead, thinking, what a tiring day. Suddenly there was a knock on the door, making her uncomfortable. Who is it? I did not call anyone. Eileen spoke, it is Belle Allett, I brought flowers. She replied, ah, that is right, come in. Eileen tentatively asked, where should I put the flowers? Margarita casually pointed, in that vase. She did not even bother to open her eyes to look. Eileen spoke to announce, I have finished arranging them, madam. Margarita slowly replied, okay, you can. Suddenly Margarita was startled and sat up, You went out in the rain just to pick these flowers, ah. Eileen respectfully replied, I have changed my clothes, but, sorry, I will wipe the floor before I leave. Margarita said, it is not that, from now on, do not do that on rainy days again. She calmly replied, it is all right, it is nothing serious. Margarita said what was on her mind, I do not like it, I do not want you to go out in the rain just for this, so never do that again. Eileen remained silent, not responding. Margarita frowned, a little uncomfortable. She questioned, why, even in rain, snow, storms, you will bring flowers. Eileen avoided, but Madam likes this flower, right? Margarita replied, I may like them, but that does not mean I want a servant to go picking flowers in the rain. I do not want any loyalty that has to be exchanged by suffering. In the end, the master will only use and discard those below them, just like my mother. Eileen suddenly raised her head and said, but, if it is for Madam, I want to do anything I can. Margarita suspiciously thought, the suspicious loyalty of a newly arrived servant, I should chase her away immediately. And yet, those blue eyes, because of it. Make me remember Mother. The image of Eileen hugging Margarita appeared. She smiled and asked, for me, how far can you go? Eileen replied, bringing flowers, polishing shoes, anything I can do, I will try not to disturb, just please let me be by your side, Madam. Margarita slowly analyzed, if there is anyone most suspicious, it is her. Olga said she saw her cleaning my room, she may have even seen the blood stains on the bed. A normal person would have run away long ago. Moreover, why does she know, and bring me snowdrop flowers, like Mother used to do? She is the most suspicious servant right now, I must stay away and chase her away. Margarita's eyes hesitated, however. Alright, from today on, you will be my personal maid. I absolutely can't push her away. On this side, Eileen was shocked when she heard this and looked at Margarita. She hurriedly knelt down and said, I will serve you with all my heart, Madam, Rita. If you really want revenge, I will help you achieve it, I will trade all the rest of my life. The scene changed, the entire mansion was shaken. Everyone was talking about Eileen, really, she just joined, I am telling the truth, what does that have to do with me? A personnel decision that caused shock everywhere. A servant who had joined for less than a month was appointed as the personal maid of the lady, a position that had always been vacant. An unprecedented case, and one that should never be allowed to happen again. The aftershocks of that decision spread throughout the mansion. The scene changed again, at this time there was a small bird standing on the tree. Ian's voice rang out, so that is how it is. A personal maid, can that position be appointed so casually? Margarita smiled and replied, not exactly casually. She was originally in charge of cleaning my room, she was only transferred to serving at the party because there was a shortage of people. Eileen stood beside her, looking down, I really did not expect that I would have to explain like this before I could even meet separately. I will have to find time to explain later. I am not sure if you will believe it or not, but, at least, I will try anyway. Margarita continued, so, to apologize for the sudden change of maids, we have arranged a tea, using high-quality tea that helps to calm the nerves, what do you think? Ian replied, the aroma is indeed pleasant, I am not knowledgeable about tea, so I do not know the specific effects. Frankly speaking, there is no need to apologize for the matter of changing the serving maid. For the nobility, servants are just people who can be replaced at any time. The real reason for this meeting is to apologize for the impoliteness of the soldiers last night, and to ask you to keep the matter a secret. Rita tentatively suggested. And that man flatly refused. She still smiled calmly, it seems that you seem very unhappy with the matter of changing the maid. If I had known in advance, I would have arranged a permanent person from the start. Ian casually explained, no, if it was another maid, I would not be so disappointed. She was too outstanding. I only hope that those above her are also like that. Margarita then mocked lightly, if the water below is clear, the water above will also be clear, do not worry. Ian also looked at her with sharp eyes, if everything in the world could go so smoothly, how wonderful it would be. Cern beside him trembled before the majesty of the two, this is truly how a noble speaks. And she is only a year older than me. Margarita suddenly changed the subject to him. Ah, you should also try a little bit. He hurriedly waved his hand, thank you, but I ate a bit too much for lunch, so. Is that so, what a pity. Margarita revealed a disappointed expression, I even prepared quite a lot for today. He blushed and said, ah, then, at least I will take a sip. Suddenly the teacup poured directly onto Cern's hand. Ian worriedly asked about Cern. Margarita slowly poured water onto a handkerchief. She gently placed it on Cern's hand, don't move. Quick, bring ice here, quickly. Yes. He was embarrassed, no, I am really all right. Margarita made a pitiful expression and said, that won't do, if you do not cool it down immediately, your hand will blister. This is your hand, you must take good care of it. He blushed and replied, yes, thank you. A moment later after finishing, Margarita instructed, just keep it on until the ice melts. I should not have invited you to drink tea. Cern hurriedly waved his hand. No, I am all right, it was my fault. And the tea is really delicious. Margarita chuckled after hearing this. The other two also felt embarrassed, they did not even take a sip of tea. Eileen secretly breathed a sigh of relief, even so, at least the atmosphere is lighter. Cern hurriedly tried to salvage the situation, I will drink it right away. Ian teased, see, no need to rush, take it slowly. Cern quickly commented, the smell is really pleasant, the flowers are also beautiful, and the taste is delicious. Ah, it also relaxes the mind. Margarita was still leisurely beside him, thanks to you, I have maintained face. Then, let us get down to business. She ordered, Belle, bring the box here. Yes, madam. She pushed a box towards him, this is enough to repay you, I promise. Ian pondered, an old box, not worth much. Eileen was full of curiosity, what is inside? Ian refused, sorry, but I do not need such a trifle. Trifle. She replied with a smile, trifle, it looks like that, but this is no ordinary object. Dig deeper, the value is even greater, is not it? Worth exploring. Ian asked directly, confused, what do you mean? Margarita slowly recounted, just as I said, I know the reason why you two agreed to come to this meal. Cern's expression at this time had turned pale. He was stunned when he heard her gasp. Margarita continued, look at your expression, perhaps I guessed correctly. Cern sweated profusely and looked at him, Mr. Ian. Ian said loudly, enough, your true intention is clear. Margarita understood and changed the subject, perhaps I was too strict with him, please forgive me. Thank you. Anyway, consider this as a clue, investigate it. Ian asked, can I open it? I leaned beside him worried, at this point, you probably also guessed what is inside. Margarita replied, of course, it belongs to you, Earl. A dirty scandal enough to destroy the third prince's enemies, a disgrace to the point that public opinion will also turn against them. Meaning whatever is inside, can completely bury Earl Grey. But if that is true, Rita, will you be safe? The scene shifted to that night, Ellie threw a small party to celebrate me becoming the lady's personal maid. Eileen asked, do you like grape juice, want more? Hannah happily said, yes, give me more. The two chatted back and forth, wine is not easy to get, I had to do kitchen work for Rosie 3 times to get it. Sister, sorry, Ellie. Hannah happily said, hey, I told you to just say thank you. Eileen smiled faintly, you are right, thank you. Joyful laughter echoed inside the room, that is right, and you also promised to help me last time, consider it even. So how was the dinner yesterday, was it a date? I said it was not, it was just a meal. Suddenly Ellie spoke and called out, hey, Belle. You should be careful for a while. With Lady Rita here, they won't dare to act directly, but petty things are unavoidable. Eileen pondered, she is talking about the other maids. That is a reasonable concern. As the lady's personal maid, there will be those who want to curry favor with Rita through me. And there will also be those who want to kick me out to take my place. Ellie smiled and took her hand, but do not worry too much. You still have me, right? I will shield you to the best of my ability. Eileen also took her hand and replied, thank you, Ellie, really, but do not overdo it, I will feel bad. Hey, you have to say thank you, remember, thank you. When it was dark, Eileen painfully held her head, a terrible headache, the after effects of the wine, I need the medicine the doctor gave. But there is not much left, I have to find another doctor in the city. Any painkiller will do. Even so, last night was the best sleep I have had in a long time, perhaps because it was the first time I slept on the first floor. She silently opened her eyes wide and thought, Margarita probably still does not trust me, and the other maids see me as an enemy. Eileen did not care anymore and closed her eyes, I have prepared myself mentally, so it is all right, but the most difficult thing is to explain everything to Mr. Ian, who has started to suspect me. Eileen stood in front of the room, worried about explaining to Mr. Ian while being suspected. She was still thinking about needing to apologize, and hand over the land map to prove that she was on his side. Then Ian called, you are here. He opened the door, and when he saw her greeting, he also asked what she was holding in her hand. Eileen handed it out, saying this was the map she had promised before. He turned around and went inside, saying that she did not need to apologize because this was not a limited time agreement, so come in first. Although she sat down on the chair, she still looked a bit pensive. Ian said that Cern had not woken up yet and asked for her opinion to open the window. Eileen was very nervous, so she nodded lightly, wondering if he was angry. In the past, Ian had always been the one who, even when Baroness Charlotte publicly humiliated him, he still kept a smile. Sitting down for a while, she felt a bit cold, remembering that even during the awkward tea party with Rita, it was like walking on eggshells, he still smiled as if unaffected. But his face now truly showed anger. Ian spoke before taking the map, saying that the two of them had something to talk about. Eileen continued to apologize, saying that the change in mission was so sudden that it surprised him. Ian calmly asked back, surprised. Then she still said that the matter was urgent and there was not enough time to explain. She also thanked him for helping her that night, and then she wondered why he was looking at her hand. Being asked about this, she just said that Eileen was confident that the map would be useful and asked him to trust her, but he asked her back. Being asked when the first 5 wars between Glosh and the Empire began, she also answered in the year 801, also knowing that he had led the army at that time. And in that war, Ian lost 1/3 of his infantry, those who followed and trusted him. Then he asked again if she knew why. Because he believed someone, a child asking to save his mother, who was still trapped in the village. That boy cried out, "Please believe me, please save my mother." At that time, there was no news, his army rushed in without scouting, because he believed in the despair in that child's eyes. But the truth was, there was never any mother to save. Welcoming them was not the boy's mother, but dozens of Glosh soldiers. They shot without hesitation. Survivors were rare, only half of their lives left, and as he was rushing back, he heard something behind him and turned around. That child was hiding in the darkness, watching everything. Ian, resentfully remembering, asked Eileen, "Why should I believe you?" In the tent room, the two were still sitting there, without saying anything more. She also lowered her head. Ian added that maybe the child was a spy, or a pawn deceived by Glosh, but no matter what, it could not change what had happened. The important thing was that the decision to trust was lost, and ended in a sea of blood. Who can expect people to trust again? After telling everything, he was sure that she understood, so he affirmed that he would not trust her. Then he would re-examine Eileen's background from the beginning. From now on he would also issue all decisions about her. Eileen spoke up and said, however. Then Ian slammed his hand on the table where the map was, reminding them which position needed to be frank. Hearing him say that there were enough reasons to kill her now, Eileen turned pale. Ian, with a dangerous expression, said that she was still alive because he had not decided yet. Reminding her not to say anything stupid to bring trouble on herself. And if she intended to prove her innocence, to do so with concrete evidence. He had left the tea table and told her to leave, reminding her to take the map with her. But Dova insisted, "I will leave it here." The truth that only she knew, Margarita was her daughter, pretending to be a maid to protect her, even her body was not her own. She was not Eileen Nova, but Isabel Jebnik. Even if these things were the truth, she could not tell him, knowing that he would believe her to be too stupid. After Nova left, Ian stood leaning against the chair, taking a long breath. Then he collapsed back into the chair. His expression was sad, because he did not intentionally talk about the war, and did not think he would get that emotional. There was something else that he wanted to ask her today. Standing for a while, Ian remembered. Not because of who was behind her, not about the legendary nobleman. Just small things. Curious if the cuts on Nova's hand that day had been bandaged yet. And the question that he did not get to say was if she had disinfected and applied medicine, just that. But at this time, Nova was not someone to be cared about, but someone to be suspected. She had been suspicious before, but now she was also being chased by a private force from a land belonging to the enemy faction. To be in the same boat with her now was too risky. She was hiding something, he could not see her true purpose, he had to be wary of people like her. More dangerous than any wild beast, 1,000 times more. Yet Ian could not stop thinking about her. Wasn't this the feeling of losing reason? Sitting alone in contemplation, he still did not expect that he had finally lost reason. On one hand he wanted to completely cut ties with Nova, but he kept getting caught up, very distracted. If he did not keep her away now, perhaps he would unconsciously reach out to her. His hand also had her necklace in it from some time ago. Suddenly he opened it again and there was a picture of someone inside. Wanting to draw her properly once, this was just a rough sketch, from the eyes, bridge of the nose, the shape of Dova's lips. Even the hair color, nothing matched. Yet those eyes. Currently, Mr. Ian still did not know that the maid had Isabel Jebnik's soul that he secretly admired, and still felt that there were a few similarities. By the evening, there was a carriage that seemed to belong to a noble family on the road. Dova was sitting inside, and still could not stop thinking, trying to pretend that nothing had happened. How naive. Mr. Ian's stern expression at that time. She knew she could not expect anything more, then suddenly someone spoke. So she immediately replied, "Yes, madam." Margarita blamed her for being a close maid but not asking her a question, so Dova apologized and was sure that even if she did not say anything, she would still accompany the lady. Seeing the maid a bit stiff, the lady reassured her that the two were going to Baron Leberc's club. Still wondering if this Baron was the one she knew, but she still asked Margarita what kind of place it was. Then she was told that the club was quite normal, there were card games, chatting, or politics. It seemed that they had arrived so the horse stopped. Especially today, Dova did not need to do anything, more importantly. The lady instructed, from here on, be very sober. Because being by her side meant trouble would always find them. The Leberk family that Dova knew in her previous life, they were always recorded in the Empire's history books, and were respected. Famous for producing scholars, and outstanding men. But right before she left, she had heard that a rogue had destroyed everything. If he had now inherited the Baron's title. That infamous scoundrel, William Leberk, had taken over the estate, and turned it into an entertainment club as soon as his father died. But the problem was, it was not an ordinary entertainment club. He turned it into a place where nobles could publicly flaunt their mistresses. But that was not the only reason he was infamous. No one knew why he was wasting his money like that, but there was a hypothesis that this person was a bastard who had no love, lacked everything, or simply hated the nobility. William only became the heir because the legitimate child was lost at birth. Everyone knew he was born from an affair with the previous Baron's maid. Dova and the lady had just entered when they were greeted by someone who led the way to the second floor. A man came out and asked if she was Margarita's attendant. Hearing him announce that the Baron wanted to meet the Countess privately, Dova was surprised. Although she had tried to go with the lady, she was still stopped and only given some drinks and games here. The two circled each other, but Dova found it difficult to approach the lady. The servant was exhausted when she was so quick and dodged so fast. Before the man could detain her, the lady spoke up and stopped him, indicating that the attendant had to follow her, not allowing anyone to stop her. Seeing him still think that this was an ordinary person who was not allowed to enter, Margarita challenged him to dare to take her away in front of her. She turned and told the Baron that she would not go alone, so called Dova to follow quickly. Her answer echoed throughout the hall. The Countess entered a room as instructed. A voice spoke, "You have arrived." The person with the appearance of a romantic young master with white hair, called out Margarita's name. She immediately corrected him when he called her real name, correcting it to be called Countess Grey. He said softly, stiff as always. Before she could sit down, she had asked for what she had requested, and received confirmation. When she sat down, William continued to call Margarita by her real name. Not knowing why she cared about people like that, because she thought she would live extravagantly, pleasurably. The atmosphere was a bit stuffy, it seemed that he intended to touch her shoulder. Then Dova obsequiously stepped forward to break the siege, asking if the lady was thirsty, one thing that in noble circles, asking for something from the outside when alone. She also asked if he wanted her to go out to ask for water, when this was a distress signal that everyone knew. Suddenly, he laughed heartily, making her also feel confused. This person knew that Dova had caused trouble earlier, so she suggested that the lady go out for a bit but was rejected. William asked Margarita where she found her, indicating that he wanted to recruit her to be under his command. Dova at this time was so tense that she could not speak, and that person kept forcing her, also teasing her for being very sharp just now. He lightly swirled the glass, saying to the Duchess that the servant did not answer him, because she was not the real owner. He himself also acknowledged that, but told Margarita that he was offended. Suddenly there was a not-so-light collision between the two wine glasses, due to him intentionally doing it. Also delighted when they were spilled, wanting to bring up the matter of going out to get a few glasses to drink water. Seeing the lady nod, Dova also understood the meaning and said that she would be back soon. Watching Margarita sit back with that person alone, she worriedly guessed whether her daughter's eyes were signaling her to leave slowly or not, when a hand had reached in outside the door. Immediately acted to cover Dova's mouth, too surprised, she did not have time to take her knife. Looking at the room right in front of her, but she could not do anything as she was gradually dragged away, knowing that this was what Rita allowed to happen. Before she could regain her senses, Dova had been taken to a room, and the door was closed tightly. When asked, she was given the reason for her to rest comfortably. Now she only knew how to hold her head helplessly, when Rita had planned from the beginning to chase her away. Being alone with a man could cause rumors, bringing her along and then chasing her away. To be alone with him. Then she thought again about what the girl had said earlier, saying that she did not need to do anything, going so far without telling the attendant about the plan. Even putting someone on guard outside her door. Seeing the wine bottle on the table, Dova intended to do something with the window. Knowing that she could not go outside, she decisively picked up the wine bottle. To invite the person outside in, she had thrown it straight at the door. The guards were frightened when the wine had stained all over them, attracting Lone's attention. He came to ask and knew that someone had thrown a broken glass bottle, so he told them to get out of the way. Entering with a cheerful demeanor, he asked Dova if she was angry at him, when this was a good, intact wine bottle. She jumped up with the knife in her hand, forcing that person to lie on the floor. He did not expect her to be so hardcore, asking where she drew the knife from, but did not get an answer. Her operation of closing the door with her foot was prevented. Dova said that she would not run. Telling him to play a game with her, the bet was not coins, but information, making him also surprised, then calming down, not expecting that she knew how to play. After that, he also happily agreed to play. The 4 people outside were crowded together eavesdropping, when she asked him to play a game. Noticing that there were people outside, Lone told them to go back to work. He was surprised that she dragged him in without knowing who he was. Then, shaking the cards with one hand, he introduced himself as Leon. His age and last name were secret, making Dova's face also helpless. Seeing that he was surprised, she asked directly. This person asked if she knew how to play blackjack because of her job, but a maid was a bit rare. Considering that what he said was right, she had never been to a casino, not having the time or freedom to do such things. Taking a few cards, she did not know when she had played. Her mood also sank a bit, constantly remembering the words "I am sorry" to someone in her heart. It turned out that Dova remembered that in the past, she only said "I am sorry." Kneeling on the cold ground, bowing her head to apologize, the cards falling all around. Laughter accompanied each fall. The day she played blackjack she had to apologize a lot. Ignoring the sad memories, Dova wanted what was important now to win to get information. In blackjack the goal is to get a total score as close to 21 as possible, but not to exceed it. The card she flipped had 10, Leon turned one card which was 9, guessing the remaining card was an ace. Then he would have 20. Being asked to hit or stand, she decided to hit. He did not expect her to be so quick, wondering if it was confidence or recklessness. Flipping over the ace, Leon congratulated her in surprise when her score was exactly 21, asking what information she wanted to know. She knew that he intentionally lost to hear the question, but still asked when he worked for Baron Larbuk, had he heard about his mother. Leon was silent for a moment after hearing this question. Being asked if she meant to insult the Baron, Dova guessed that he was very loyal, when he also knew that the Baron was a bastard. Having been managing this place since 20 years old, he must be very close with that person, and if a person like him reacted so strongly. She spoke up and replied, "I did not mean to be insulting. Just..." Not knowing if he knew that the rumors could be wrong, the Baron might not be a bastard. Lone was stunned and asked what she was talking about. Then urgently wanting to hear the explanation, then was asked to play again if he wanted to know more. Dova happily said that the two of them would play one more game, thinking that maybe it was the shameful truth behind associated with his master's reputation. This person's face turned pale, not knowing whether to hold the deck of cards to play again. The scene shifted to the lobby of the club. Among the crowd, there was a red-haired guy serving wine who looked quite familiar. Having brought drinks to the corridor of the private rooms. Looking at the end of the hallway, there was a door. The room where Dova and Leon were playing cards was still lit. This game he had blackjack so he won. Seeing 21 points being too perfect, she was surprised that he did not hide that he was cheating anymore. Being asked if he was close with the Baron, Leon still said he did not understand. Dova guessed he really did not know. Seeing him eagerly asking, what was she going to say when she said that the Baron was not a bastard, but was only told a reliable source? He was the official biological child of the Baron and the late Baroness. Why were there rumors when he was not just a bastard? She said because someone wanted everyone to believe him. Leon slammed his hand on the table. Thinking that she was talking nonsense, not believing that anyone would do that to the Baron, she wanted to bet again with higher stakes. He laughed with delight when he mentioned the information. Telling her to say what she wanted, he would let her know. Meanwhile, Rita and the Baron started talking business when there were no more maids to interfere, but he said there was no rush. The Baron pointed to a list of people who had been murdered, followed by the Earl's lovers, including his wife and lovers. Listening to him talk, she realized that they all had one thing in common, then was extremely horrified. Asking William Leburc, who among them was still alive. He was silent. Then he spoke the truth, there was no one left. According to the Empire's census, 2 people were missing, 1 person had no news of being alive, even if they were not dead, the percentage of survival was very low. The strange thing was that the first wife was clearly killed, the others suffered various misfortunes. Knowing this, she asked if they would not get any direct testimony. This person did not exactly admit it. The Earl of Grey's wives and lovers had all died one after another. Therefore, the number 1 suspect was naturally the Earl himself. What was wrong was that he could kill his wife because of a remarriage conflict, but what would the Earl's lover gain by eliminating her? Margarita knew there was another reason, then asked if he had any relatives or friends of the victims. As if he knew the question in advance, the Baron said that he had tried to find them but most had disappeared. Then he gave the information of the friend of the Earl's second wife. Seeing that there was a good clue, she wondered why the person was still alive. Officially, she had also disappeared, but there were signs that she was still in contact with some people. Then the Baron mentioned the Fortune Circus, famous in the capital that everyone knew. There were rumors that she was related to the owner there. Marie Tria, according to Margarita, was a singer, possibly they were colleagues. The Baron thought the hypothesis was also possible that they also had a fate of death. Suddenly he laughed very loudly, saying that this story was very exciting for Margarita, as the third fiancée. She did not understand what he had just said. This person's expression was terrible, when the series of assassinations were all carried out mysteriously. That was what made the Baron's heart beat faster, also asking how she did not feel it. Then he trembled on his own without saying anything. Margarita took a fan and hit him on the back of the neck, reassuring him to calm down. Saying that she would pay when the information was confirmed accurately, she was not easy to kill like that. About to leave, she wanted William Leberc to behave properly from now until then. This person's expression looked very dangerous when she left, knowing that things would not be so simple. The innocent masked person behind the empire, she was. Outside the luxurious mansion. Margarita had gotten into her car, but just silently looked outside. Eileen looked at the lady, wondering what they had talked about. The reason she made the bet with Leon was to find out about that. They had agreed to exchange information tomorrow afternoon after he made a copy, but finding out the truth would have to wait longer. Remembering the address of the tavern in Sinar, on the outskirts of the industrial area, not knowing how long it would take, so she planned to ask for a day off. Margarita asked her, "Have you ever heard of the connection between Marie and the Fortune Circus?" Then she hesitated and told her to ignore it. She was surprised that Dova knew. The manager of the theater used to play the piano for the small theater that Marie Tria debuted in. Being asked if she was a fan, she replied that she had accidentally heard about it. Marie Tria was the Earl's lover when Lady Diana was still alive. At that time she was a maid. So she definitely knew. That woman used to wander around the corridors of Grey Mansion singing every day, wearing singing clothes with lyrics that predicted her fate. Every time she visited, she hurriedly looked for a place to hide, but no matter how far she ran, the voice would still find Isabel and could not ignore the singing. The lady changed the subject, saying that she wanted to see Anna Firis perform. Hearing this name, she stammered a little. When she had secretly entered Rita's room, all the names of the poisons at that time, not understanding why she, who was not on her side, would want to meet her. Even so, Dova still agreed to talk to Mrs. Donata to arrange tickets. The Countess asked her, "Why do not you wonder why I want to go?" Knowing that what happened at the club was what the girl wanted to hide, so she also only stopped at the identity of the maid and did not ask too much. Hearing the girl say that she was strange, she was surprised. Then Margarita said that sometimes she was calm or sensitive in ways that had never been predicted. Hearing this, Dova was also silent. Then she took the scarf next to her, putting it on her lady, when she seemed cold. Outside, snow had also begun to fall. Perhaps that is why it was cold. The coachman had guessed right when it was snowing. Margarita still hoped that it would snow a lot. And Eileen also wanted that. She closed her eyes and remembered the memory, when Margarita asked her mother to stay up late to wait for the snow to fall. At that time, she said that the snow fairy would grant a wish to the child who was willing to go to bed well. The two mother and daughter at that time both hoped to see a lot of snow tomorrow. The exact same words of her mother back then, enough for the snow fairy to fly down to earth. Margarita's eyes were surprised when she heard this. Then also happy, knowing that she was grown up, she would not make a wish anymore. But even so, she still hoped for as much snow as when she was little playing with her mother. At this time, Dova had gone to find Mrs. Donata and was allowed in. She was very busy with a pile of papers, after the police finished investigating the maid's murder. And in the meantime, she heard that she had become the lady's personal maid. But she would not ask what she had done when she was absent. It was useless to know a thing that could not be changed. Donata gave Dova something, saying it was important, making her also confused. Reading it, she knew that this was a list of employees, not understanding why she gave it to her. But then she was afraid, knowing that they were the names of the maids who had been fired. She mentioned the incident in the laundry room this morning. She nodded immediately. The other maids had said sarcastic things in front of Dova, making her quite uncomfortable. The pink-haired girl said sarcastically when washing clothes for the lady's personal maid, but she only asked when she could come back to get them. That girl still snobbishly said that she did not know, because they were busy having to wash dozens of dresses a day. Dova tightly grasped one hand of the snobbish maid. It hurt so much. Although she only wanted a clear answer, she still did not get it as she wished. So she squeezed her hand even harder. Hearing that the time to pick up the clothes was before tomorrow evening, her expression was still serious. But now she had to turn pale with fear, when the incident this morning had reached her ears. She also knew that there would be people jealous of that position, only reminding her not to affect the lady's reputation. Also threatening closely, if Dova intended to harm the lady, she would do everything to eliminate her. Then leaning closer to remind, "I will do anything for the lady." Back then, when Rita replaced all the staff, the person who helped her arrange them must be Mrs. Donata. She hoped that she also felt that way. Dova happily agreed immediately. Walking to the workplace, she asked her what she had come here for. Then she learned that the lady wanted to see Anaphyros perform. Donata looked back, asking if the lady had said so. Then told her that she would book the tickets and send them directly to the lady. If there was nothing else, she should go back. She also nodded in agreement. Even Mrs. Donata was wary of her, a formidable opponent, so she guessed that it was similar to the relationship between Countess Diana and Marie Tria. The difference was that the Earl loved his wife more than his lover and also wanted to ask Ellie about this. Just opening the door to say that she wanted to ask the girl something. Then she got hit in the face with a pillow. The two little ones who were playing tossing pillows saw that they hit someone and turned completely pale. They were all worriedly asking if Sister Belle was all right. Although she said that she was okay, the girl still fussed over her. Then decisively snatched back the pillow, surprising Dova, but also blaming Ellie. Seeing that things were a bit tense and had not ended, when the two children were still arguing about their wishes in the future. Then confidently that she was the best flower seller, the other was determined to become the best personal maid. Hearing the two ask about her, Dova stammered a bit. Still not clear about her dream. Saying hesitantly to the kids that she did not really, but in reality dreams and the future were things she could not have, because she would die soon after being poisoned. Of course, she still had one thing to do before leaving, which was to help Rita get revenge. Once that was done, she would quietly leave. But if she had to dream, then it would be a peaceful departure. Dova guessed that, knowing that she was a bit too much, so the children apologized. Ellie said that she did not really want to be a flower seller, but wanted to go to school, making Hannah also wonder. Although her status was not suitable, but mentioning learning machinery, she was very happy. Dova said that she thought that was wonderful. Mentioning steam trains, the girl was even more excited. Excitedly telling about how it ran on steam pressure, like heating a boiler. Listening to the details of how the train operated, Dova thought that she did not really understand these things. But Ellie was very happy sitting and telling. Knowing that she was embarrassed when she said too much in one go, she also said that it was okay, but was asked about her day. Today, if she was awake all the time since dawn, then she remembered the most being made difficult in the laundry room. Pushing her own matter aside, she mentioned that the lady wanted to see Anaphyros perform, and wanted to ask her something. Ellie reacted surprisingly, knowing that what you said was definitely right. Dova wanted to know if she and the lady had a relationship in the past, then learned that it was only one-sided. Anaphyros almost became the Earl's wife, but because Our Lady appeared, it did not happen, so they met briefly at the wedding. The girl thought that was why Anna sent curse letters to the lady, thinking that Margarita had stolen her position, even though the Countess ignored her. But that indifference gave her the opportunity to send insects, animals, liquids, even pieces of paper with blood, things that were unbelievably crazy. Cleaning up those things almost killed Ellie. It was too terrible. Dova guessed that Marie Tria had never gone so far. The girl spoke up to remind her when going there, who knew what would happen, to be careful. Based on what she had done before, she would not sit still. That night, at the shopping district in the capital, the door to the room was opened. There were two people who were looking for that thing, but could not find it. Reporting to their master that they had searched all the goldsmith shops, but had not found anything. Holding the ring in his hand, Ian did not know whether to believe the Duchess or not, or now the question of whether to believe that girl or not. Ian held the ring in his hand. This is a clue I should believe, or is it something suspicious? Then he turned and said to Cern, for now, let us expand the search to the outskirts of the capital. Viscount Cern was shocked when he heard this. What, go to the outskirts? You do not intend to say that we are going right now, are you? Ian just stepped straight ahead. There must be somewhere for us to borrow horses. We need to hurry before it is too late. Cern grabbed Ian's hand. Wait, Mr. Ian, please wait a moment. Can't we at least eat something first? We have been working on an empty stomach all day. Even if the third prince's shadow has helped us, rummaging through every store in the capital for the past 3 days has been exhausting enough. How can we continue without food? Cern still begged Ian. It had been like that ever since then. The next day, when he woke up, Cern met Eileen in the hallway. Oh. Hello, you are going out early today. Yes, Mr. Cern, I have something to take care of. Cern entered to greet Ian. Mr. Ian, did you sleep well? I just met Nova in the hallway. She left quite early today, so it is trustworthy. Suddenly, a crumpled piece of paper on the table caught his attention. Here it is, the estate map that Nova mentioned. Right, that means we can finally. Seeing Ian still pondering, Cern spoke up and called, Mr. Ian, what happened between you two? Did you argue? Then he said timidly, we should also rest, should not we? Just a little bit, okay. Ian still maintained a firm attitude. No, Cern, we do not have time. We need to finish scouting before returning to Grey Manor. That means we have to at least finish the industrial area by tomorrow. Once we return, you can rest as long as you want, so endure a little longer. Do you have any more objections? No, sir. Cern was sullen. The next morning, in the outskirts of the capital, the Sinar industrial area, we have arrived, please get out of the car. The sound of hurried footsteps, quickly. Is this the industrial area? Eileen blankly looked at the surrounding scenery. 10 years ago when I was alive, there was nothing like this. From what I have heard, the factories started popping up around the capital about 4 years ago. And soon after, they formed complete industrial areas. Just then, a carriage rushed over. Hey, get out of the way. Eileen was frightened. I am sorry. She was pushed so hard that she almost fell to the ground. She looked back. I am sorry. A world that I no longer recognize. After that, Eileen entered a small diner. An arm waved to call her over. Over here, come here. The man named Leon asked, you look tired, was the trip difficult? Oh, look at the sweat, it is quite warm outside. How about a cold beer? No thank you, I am okay. Oh come on, do not refuse so bluntly, at least pretend to consider it a little. I really do not. Suddenly Eileen saw something, her eyes flashed with fear. Ignoring Leon still inviting her, oh just a sip, or at least hold the glass and toast with me. He just wanted to hand me a piece of paper. In that case, I will take a glass, that is enough. Anyway, I won't give you more, my drink is too precious to share. Eileen carefully opened the piece of paper, about 10 names, all women. I recognize a few of them. Ah, this must be the list of the Earl's lovers. Leon explained, all the women who were ever the Earl's lovers or wives are here, and are you sure this is it? Who knows, I had to work hard to get it out without letting the Baron find out. You brought something simple, I guess people like you would not hand over anything dangerous that could harm your master. Leon savored the pastry on the tip of his lips, with a greasy expression, you have got me figured out. But really, this time that is all there is. Even I am surprised that there are so few traces. Eileen thought, however, I have a hunch that this list may be useful. Rita is trying to find out the real murderer who killed Countess Diana. But the question is, whether the perpetrator is one of these women. I think not, I am sure that the perpetrator is Earl Grey himself. In the Magritte Empire, where divorce is not easy, the only acceptable way to start a new romance is to become a widow. When the Earl remarried only 2 months after his first wife passed away. That clearly raised suspicion. Eileen was lost in thought, oh and I heard a strange thing. What is it? I will tell you after I hear what you know. Eileen thought, it seems that he is in a hurry to erase the bastard label, but if he knew the whole truth, I do not know if he would still want to erase it. If he really cares about the Baron, that will only make things more difficult for him. Then she started speaking, alright, there is a birthmark just above the Baron's lower back. About the size of a fingertip. The Baroness also has an identical mark in the same position. Hearing this, Leon was startled, wait. So the Baron knew, she knew William was her son. Damn it, what the hell is this, do you know why did they pretend that their own biological child was illegitimate? Eileen hesitated, even if I knew, that is not something I can tell you. Leon was helpless after hearing this. Then he had to accept it, okay then. You are right, that is something that the Baron himself needs to hear, then I will go check it out myself. Eileen was a bit startled seeing Leon's attitude change like that. What, 1 second you were shouting, the next second you were smiling. I will finish this glass and set out to see if what you said is true. Eileen held the wine glass tightly, can he smile after hearing that, such a loyal guy. Something indescribable appeared deep in Eileen's eyes, she grabbed the knife and rushed over, hey Leon, what do you think you are doing, do you want to die? Oh my, you are overreacting. Didn't you say that this is what the Baron himself needs to hear? If you just blink for a moment, I will arrange a meeting for the two of you. Anyway, put the knife away, this is not a place for that thing. Okay, if what you said is true, I will contact you again. Oh, I almost forgot, I promised to tell you something, all the women on that list, they have either died or disappeared a long time ago, all of them. Every lover or wife of Earl Grey has died without exception. It is hard not to find that suspicious. If Rita's real target is the Earl, then this might be the evidence she needs. But if that is the case, then the next woman to be murdered would be Earl Grey's current wife, Rita. No, I won't let that happen, as long as I am still by her side. In a room with neat stacks of books, a syringe was raised in a ready position. A girl wearing a white coat looked at the syringe boredly. I am going to die of boredom in here. Someone's footsteps echoed, is anyone here? The doctor was startled, did you come for a checkup? Oh no, I just ran out of painkillers. Painkillers. The doctor thought, another drug addict, get out of here, I do not sell drugs. Eileen took something out of her bag, this, I am not sure if that drug has illegal ingredients or not, but as long as it has a similar effect, I do not care. Eileen carefully placed the medicine bottle on the table. You are really stubborn. But as soon as she saw the medicine bottle, the doctor was shocked. No way, where did you get this from? Eileen also replied honestly, from Duke Mirabel, from that timid, useless doctor. What is wrong? He is my brother. This is the family crest of the Roberk family. At this time, Eileen was a little curious. What is the family crest of a family doing here? The doctor quickly injected Eileen's hand. What is the probability of us meeting in the capital? It is a small world. Eileen painfully pulled her hand back. Why do that? I am also a doctor, you know. I need to know what illness it is to prescribe medicine. To diagnose, I need blood. I hope you understand. So will you give me the medicine? Of course, of course. My brother is not the kind of scum who sells medicine to drug addicts, I believe him. Painkillers, so he can't find the real disease, that is what he said. Don't worry, I am a bit more talented than my brother. Let me see. The doctor suddenly stopped. She called Eileen back. Hey, what is going on? What do you do? What is your job? What? Wait, do not tell me your family used to rebel against the royal family. This poison can only be created by the royal family. The doctor could not help but be excited. Unbelievable, I have never been able to study it because it has never been leaked out of the palace. I did not expect to find the royal family's poison here. The only opportunity in my life to study the antidote, I can't miss this opportunity. Hey, what is your name? Eileen took the name Belle Ellett to reply. Alright, Miss Belle Ellett, can you try some of the medicines I make and answer a few questions? What? I won't take a penny, in fact I will pay you, so please. Despite Barona's begging, Eileen firmly refused. No, thank you, I just came to get painkillers. Wait, just listen to me. I used to work under the royal physician. I know exactly what that poison is. My brother may only guess that it is epinea poison, but your case also involves ropendal herbs, which reduce heart rate and soothe nerves. At first glance it may seem like a good herb, but when mixed with certain medications, it turns into a deadly poison that can stop the heart. Like what you are infected with. Eileen was a bit softened, but Barona affirmed firmly, right, you are still alive, that is really a miracle that I have never seen. So you mean you want to try to treat me? Exactly, my brother may have given up, but I never have. Just give me a chance to perform some tests. But Eileen still did not agree. My brother told me that I only have 1 year to live, for me that 1 year is enough. Barona was shocked. Why? Why are siblings so different? Barona struggled. No, why do not you want to live? Please do not shout anymore. Do not you believe in my skills? I am really talented. Okay, I was the best assistant. Just see here, I will save you, at all costs, I am serious. Eileen sighed, so I left with more than just painkillers. It is not that I am going to drink them, they feel suspicious, however I have learned where the poison came from. A rare poison that is said to be only produced in the palace. Eileen was caught digging up the secrets of Mirabel territory for a news provider and had used that poison to silence her. Tracking down such a specific poison is very dangerous. This is why they not only poisoned but also wanted to kill her decisively. That means what Eileen discovered was a scandal dangerous enough to ruin the royal family. But the poisoning failed. Eileen became living evidence, meaning there was no way to give up the hunt. Now she is a witness that must be silenced. That is what Eileen Nova represents in our eyes. It has been almost a month since I diverted the pursuers and pushed them south. By now they have probably searched the entire area only to realize I am not there. At that time, the train only had 2 destinations, the capital or the south, so logically the next place they will search is the capital. No, what if they have already arrived in the capital? Where will they check first? If it were them, I would start from crowded places that are enough to blend in. But also a place where it is easy to eavesdrop. She thought for a long time in her heart. Finally the location was found. Baron Leberk's social club. In that case, there is no way Leon did not recognize me. He must have received a description of me, and when he saw me he pretended not to know. He kept me on the first floor with all the fine wine, then lured me to the very edge of the city. Meet me tomorrow afternoon at the location written on the paper. Just to drag me all the way here, then that means there are pursuers nearby. Eileen quickly walked away. Why did not I suspect sooner? There were warning signs everywhere, even that sleeping pill was probably poison. He smiled because he knew that even if he did not do it, a pursuer would. There is only one reason why he betrayed me. He wanted to silence the maid who knew his master's secrets, a suspicious maid who suddenly got chased by pursuers. Of course they would decide that she must die. The sun is about to set. During the day, the industrial area is crowded with workers, but once night falls, the streets become completely deserted. Once everyone has gone home after work, this place will become the perfect place for someone to disappear. There is no one around to help me, no crowd to blend into. I need to get out of here. Before this place completely becomes a hunting ground. Isabel used all her strength to run here, the last one, the last carriage, there are none left. The renter said they have all been rented out for the day, at the earliest it will be tomorrow morning. So Isabel had to change her plan. Then what about horses? But that renter seemed very dissatisfied. You think we have horses available for anyone to rent, you are not even a noble. Really, girl, I have told you, there is nothing left. If there was, I would have offered you double the price. Somehow today all the carriages, including the spares, have been rented out, so yes, there is none left. The disappointment in Isabel's heart rose. This is also the last rental place. The sun has set, no horses, no carriages, walking is no different from suicide, what to do now? Or should I try asking that doctor from earlier, to let me hide for a night? No, absolutely not. Doing so will only put Barona in danger as well. I will drag an innocent person into this vortex. There must be a hiding place in the main factory in the central area, I will go there. The right leads to the city center, there are many escape routes, in the worst case, I will jump into the river on the left and leave it to fate. Anyway, my best chance is still to hide in the factory until morning. Somewhere someone was watching Isabel. And it seemed that she had also realized. Someone is approaching, only one person. No, there is more than one. I have to run, right now. Because she was too hasty, Isabel dropped something important. Behind them began to reveal themselves. Chase her, she is running towards the river, do not let her escape. Isabel ran to a storage room, there it is. Without thinking, she kicked the door open. It is an ideal place for Isabel, good. With enough winding corners like this, I will hide until morning. However, there was a light seeping through in the darkness. It was the light from an oil lamp. Isabel's eyes widened in surprise. What? Why are there children here at this hour? In a certain diner in the city. Cern was still enjoying himself. Everyone was eating happily and joyfully. Only Ian was full of thought, still no clue where that ruby ring came from. The only place left is the outer rim south of the capital. Will I find anything there? What if Cern was right? What if this clue is completely fake? The Duchess said the ring could expose Earl Grey's corruption. Her giving it to us means she also wants to see him overthrown, but why? If his crimes are exposed, the royal family will be forced to act. They will confiscate his property, even strip his title, and she will lose everything. Even so, she still wants him destroyed. They have only been married for a year, could she hate him that much already? Or has she been planning revenge from the start? Cern called, Mr. Ian, are not you eating? If you are not eating, I might eat it all. Ian chuckled, it is all right, you go ahead and eat, you are still growing. But Cern felt a bit embarrassed, no, I have eaten too much already. Ian intentionally said that, really, then we should set off. Even so, Cern was a bit reluctant, no, do not waste the food, so I will. Suddenly everything around shook. Everyone started talking excitedly. What was that sound? Was that gunfire? Calm down, okay, don't worry, this is not the first time I have heard sounds like that. That is right, at this hour, strange noises are not rare. More gunfire, what is going on lately? Come on, let it go, let us drink. Ian could not sit here any longer, we have to get out there. A drunken uncle said while laughing, I have something great this time. My wife will definitely go crazy when she sees it. Look, does it look expensive? She will definitely like it. Cern tried to stay calm, Mr. Ian, wait, that is. Is that the ribbon that you gave to Miss Nova? Without thinking, Ian just went over and grabbed the man's hand. Where did you get this ribbon? That person had no intention of cooperating. Scoundrel, who do you think you are? Things got worse when Ian made it tense. I am asking you, where did you get this ribbon? When, where, and how did you get it? He frantically confessed, I picked it up on the road, before I came here. Ian ran out of the bar in an uncontrollable manner. I gave that ribbon to Eileen Nova in exchange for the map, so why is it here, in the outskirts, so far from the capital, even while being chased? A terrible explosion occurred. Catching everything in Ian's eyes, Eileen. Everything was stained with a fiery color. 15 minutes ago at the factory, she ran inside. They held their guns forward. Searching every corner. No need to capture her alive, kill her when you see her. Isabel was still hiding with the children, damn it, what should I do? In reality, I can't protect the children and hide at the same time, but if I run away, they will. It was obvious that the children were malnourished, skinny, no one took care of them properly, children who have struggled to survive, living day by day. Just like Rita 10 years ago, thinking of that, how can I let these children die? Isabel came up with a strategy for them, listen up, I will go and lure those scary people away. When I give the signal, escape through that window, all of you, do not stop, got it? I can only hope that someone also did the same for my daughter when she was their age. Then Isabel shouted, now, she had attracted the group, over there, chase after her. In Isabel's heart, she only wished for one thing, go, quickly. Run quickly, they are desperately chasing Isabel, she is right in front. Even though she was leading them, Isabel kept observing, is that little girl the last one? What is that kid doing? Get out quickly. That child wanted to say one thing, thank you, sister. In Isabel's eyes, that was what comforted her at this moment. All the children have escaped, now I just need to escape too. Sneaking out is impossible. When they are assassinating, what to do now? The boiler room. If there is a crack in the cylinder, the pressure will decrease, and boom, it will explode. That is right. And it seems that all of them are running over right now. If I use what Ellie taught me, I can open a bloody path to escape. They heard that sound. She is over there, chase her. The sound definitely came from inside here. Damn it, it is pitch black, can't see anything. That crazy woman, how is she so fast? Shut up and keep moving. What Isabel was aiming for was right in front. She threw her shoe hard at it. They used all their strength to shoot, over there, shoot, kill her. Isabel took the opportunity to run away. Success, if I can run far enough. Before that, Ellie had said that, steam fills the cylinders and the pressure drops quickly. And that sudden decrease makes the boiling point drop low. This creates a huge amount of steam at once. Steam completely fills the cramped chamber. And when it reaches its limit, finally. Boom, an echo. It exploded, that is right. That was the whole scene of the explosion that took place. Isabel had successfully protected the last child. She was not lightly injured. Thank goodness, I made it in time. Isabel instructed the little girl, hey, get out through that window, the others have gone that way too, I will follow right away, you go. She turned back to look at the battlefield she had created. Trapped in the explosion right next to the boiler, there is no way they survived. No one can survive that fire. Now I can move more slowly. Just wait until morning, catch a carriage and... Behind her was Leon's voice, still alive, the maid, more durable than she looks. Isabel tried to get up. Damn it, my leg. Isabel decided to face him, then tell me, what exactly are you doing here? Leon smiled unpredictably. The whole situation is strange to me, so I came back to ask you again. He stepped on Isabel's hand, stop it. Who told you that the Baron was not a bastard, but the legitimate heir, the only woman besides the Baron and his wife who knew that? I killed her 5 years ago, so how do you know? Isabel thought she was hearing wrong, killed. 10 years ago, the woman who gave birth to Baron Leberg's illegitimate child was stripped of everything and kicked out. She lived quietly in the slums, and she was my neighbor. She might have been noisy and sharp, but worked hard to live proudly. Isabel growled, you killed Emily. Leon cruelly knelt on Isabel's wound. You even know her name, what are you to Emily, a friend? Anyway, it sounds like that little girl told you herself, how fortunate for me, it is not a false rumor spreading. Don't take it personally, you know the situation with the high-ranking people, right? I feel very sorry about it, but I have no choice. It will hurt a little. Goodbye, Maid. At that moment the gunshot rang out. Leon's hand was stained a bright red. The person who did this was Ian. Isabel looked at him, don't tell me you have been following me all along. To make a decision, you must have been watching me. Ian ran over to support her, are you alright, Nova? Let me take you to a safe place, we will talk later. Isabel felt everything aching. Ian's mood was very unhappy, are you in pain, or do you not want me to touch you? Either way, please bear with it a bit. Cern paced back and forth uneasily, why are they taking so long? Ah, Mr. Ian, MS. Nova. You two are alright, wait, MS. Nova, your head is bleeding. Ian quickly explained, that is not her blood, do not panic. Nova can wash it off when we get to a safe place. Isabel kept observing his attitude, he must be angry now. Of course, a person who is already suspected is also doing such shady things. I should apologize. Isabel's eyes were slowly closing. I never want to make him angry again. In a fairly peaceful and safe area. Ian stood leaning against the wall. Just because the ribbon was there, does not necessarily mean that Nova was also there. According to what I thought, she might have thrown the ribbon away and disappeared to make me give up. And I have no real evidence that the explosion was related to her. If there was, it could be a trap to lure me, so, looking back, it was really a reckless decision. But what I regret more than my judgment. Ian remembered the moment when he saw Leon trying to kill Isabel. He used a resentful gaze and raised the gun. If I had just shot him in the head, she would not have been covered in blood. Why is this a heavier regret than any speculation? The doctor announced, the treatment is finished, she will live. Her leg is sprained, it will be fine tomorrow. But the burn scars on her back will leave scars, and her fingers, we will have to wait and see. It is very likely that her left ring finger won't move as before. Ian asked, does it affect her later life? The doctor shook his head, no. Ian walked into the room, then that is the only important thing. The doctor was a bit curious, but what is your relationship with this lady? Taking an unconscious person away like this is a bit. Anyway, Ian could only say that, she is a long-time servant in my family. If you do not mind, I will tell Nova to contact you when she wakes up. Perhaps the doctor had also seen through it. A servant, I do not feel that way very much, but even if I ask, you probably won't say. Ian stood before Isabel's bed. What caught his eye were her limbs that were bandaged thickly. I also wanted to transfer Nova after she woke up, but this place is too dangerous. While Eileen was being treated, I told Cern to borrow a carriage. According to what he said, when he finally returned after a long time, he had to stop by 3 neighboring towns to find one. All the rental carriages in the area had mysteriously disappeared. Someone had deliberately isolated us. If there is anything, this makes her seem a little less suspicious. After all, only someone like Duke Mirabel could carry out such a coordinated attack. If she really is a double agent, or an enemy pretending to be an ally, then she was working with the Mirabel family, not being attacked by them. Of course, I still can't completely rule out that possibility, but if we were a little slower. Like with her. Ian remembered that smile. Finally turning into a bloody scene. Ian wanted to forget but could not, this time he could not. That time, I was too late, but this time I was not. I could not save you, but this time. Yet why is that? The person I saved is a person completely unrelated to you, but I still feel relieved, as if I somehow saved you this time. I know that what I am doing is wrong, but if this continues, I will start seeing her as Eileen. He intentionally repeated her name. Please, do not leave me. That evening, Isabel had woken up after a coma. Where am I? Who is it, Mr. Ian? Before anything, Ian scolded, how can you be so reckless? Isabel remembered that she needed to apologize to him. I am sorry. But the wound was too painful. Ian turned away with a slightly flushed face. You will have burned scars on your back, and permanent damage to your fingers too. Isabel kept repeating that sentence. I understand, I am sorry. Ian's hand clenched. Why are you apologizing? Exactly, why are you apologizing to me? Isabel thought what she said, because you are angry with me. Ian was even more contradictory in his words. So you mean you hurt yourself just to make me sad? Isabel wanted to explain but could not say it. It is not like that. It is just that I acted alone again and... Ian wanted to scold her a lot. Yes, I am angry because you acted alone again, but what makes me even angrier is your cold and indifferent attitude about it. You will have to live with a scar on your back and a useless left hand, and you do not even react to that. You only know how to apologize, as if nothing is important. If you cried, like in that rainy night, I could have comforted you, given you tea, but if only guilt makes you act, I will use that. Ian sat with his back turned. All right, if you really feel so guilty, then promise me one thing. Until I have completely decided about you, do not you dare die in front of me, Eileen. In the dark room, a soft voice rang out, sorry for bothering you. Ian reminded gently, you need to apply medicine, so do not forget to stop by my room. Eileen did not resist either. Yes, I will stop by tonight. But what business do you have to go out at dawn like that? Ian wondered. Eileen from the door, slightly turned her eyes towards him. I have something to visit a person I have not seen in a long time. Then she suddenly remembered, before I died once, I saved Emily Bryn, who was dying in a remote corner of the slums where I lived. 6 months ago, because she knew about my relationship with that person, that is why I ended up like this. Hearing her story, Eileen wondered about that person's identity. The girl Emily trembled. A name softly rang out, Baron Leberc, known as a refined nobleman with high education. But in reality a violent man. The Baroness, because she endured abuse from him. Tragically lost her first child and almost did not keep her second child but... Soon after, she discovered the Baron's affair with the maid Emily. Determined to take revenge, the Baroness tricked the Baron into believing that the child she was carrying was the maid's bastard, causing the Baron to abuse the child. After completely breaking their relationship, she planned to reveal this truth to shake the entire family. Eileen was immersed in her thoughts. In the process, Emily was abandoned in this alley. Even so, at that time I still thought she was fortunate to have survived. But I do not want it like this. The Baron started this, so why should I be the only one who has to suffer? Looking at the tattered bouquet on the water in front of her, Eileen slumped down. Every time I see Emily cry, I am reminded of my life that can easily be destroyed by the hands of those in power. At any time. Perhaps that is why I once hated Emily. Suddenly Eileen noticed something. It turned out to be a petal falling in the puddle. The petal looked weak, withered and had no vitality. Eileen firmly said, but anyway. I never wished her dead. I never wished for death. In a magnificent, splendid palace. Margarita was still looking at the scenery outside the window. The sound of knocking came. Come in. Eileen's still unhealed arm gently pushed the door open. Good morning, madam. Margarita looked towards the door. Eileen placed the basin of water in front of her. I heard that you took some time off, Margarita suddenly asked. Eileen was still carefully wiping the lady's face. Did you have a carriage accident on the way back? Eileen was a little confused after hearing this. I am sorry, something happened so I was late. Margarita suddenly reached out her arm decisively. Grabbing Eileen's hand tightly, "Your hand is injured." Eileen hesitated. "I am sorry, I fell." "How did I fall so badly that I even broke my finger?" Seeing that Margarita was still determined, Eileen could only comfort, "I will make sure it does not affect my work." Seeing this, Margarita calmed down a bit. Then she sighed helplessly. She gradually pulled her arm back. "Tonight, I will go to see the Fortune Circus performance. Can you go?" Eileen looked at her master, then timidly agreed, "Yes, I can go. Anyway, I will be able to help somehow." Margarita smiled slightly after hearing this. "We will see." In the evening, the large carriage was on its way to the theater. It stopped in front of a building with brightly lit lights. Eileen pensively looked out the window. She thought, Rita has come here to find clues about Marie Tria's death. All the women on that list, everyone, had died. The piece of paper was covered with names. Eileen slowly got out of the car. "I have to confirm myself whether that is true. Now it is also difficult to contact Leon." In the hall, warm golden light enveloped everything. A series of ladies wore magnificent and beautiful dresses. Everyone was still chatting. At the same time, the gentle sound of the violin rang out. Eileen was still standing timidly beside Margarita. "I have to follow Rita and gather information." In the theater, in a private room, a noise rang out. "Ms. Anna, you can't do this. The performance is about to start. Let go of me. I just want to see her face once." A hand pushed the door and entered. Rita still had not figured out what was happening. The person standing before Margarita was Anna Firis. She sarcastically raised her voice. "Is it very comfortable, gaining that position by having an affair with someone else's lover? A waitress who was lucky enough to catch a noble and changed her life. How impressive." Margarita calmly took a sip of red wine. "But do you know what? The Earl will come back to me." The space suddenly fell silent and Rita seemed to not care about Anna. "Are you ignoring me? Look at me, you damn woman. That position was mine from the beginning. If it were not for you, I..." Eileen stepped forward to stop her. "Stop it. Stop it immediately." A red mark appeared on Eileen's face. "What is this?" "A maid. A maid, how dare you?" Just as Anna was about to slap Eileen, Margarita stepped in to stop her. "That is enough," a voice rang out. "If you continue, I will burn down not only you but this entire theater. Can you handle that?" Eileen was taken aback by Margarita's cold demeanor. "What? Get her out of here." "Hey, let me go. I said let me go. You, Anna, you really have to go right now. I will kill you. Do you know how hard I worked to get that position? I will kill you." Margarita remained composed. "You probably did that on purpose, to get hit and protect me. But do not do that again. I really can't stand ugly things like getting beaten or sacrificing yourself for someone else." Eileen fell into thoughtful silence. As Anna sang her aria on stage, Eileen and Margarita listened from the VIP seats. The story was still unfolding on stage. Princess Anna had not been able to reach the prince. A dark scene flashed by. Just as rumored, she is not only beautiful but also has a wonderful aria. Hardly anyone sings as well as Anna. Margarita chuckled. "Don't you think so?" The theater owner, standing meekly under Rita's orders. "I apologize. As soon as Act 2 ends, I will bring Anna to you even if I have to make her kneel and beg. In case." Margarita grabbed the theater owner by the collar, making him panic. "Answer me honestly for Anna's sake." He slumped down into the chair. Margarita called out the name directly. "Marie Tria. I heard you met that woman not long ago." The theater owner stammered. I do not know anything about that. They just came asking for money, so I chased them away." "You do not know where they live." He was sweating profusely. "If I tell you, will you let Anna go?" The audience around them was still engrossed in the entertainment. No one paid attention to the people in the carriage. Eileen forcefully pulled back the curtain by the carriage window. "Does it look familiar?" Margarita asked. Eileen replied without hesitation. "I have been there before. Don't worry too much. Once the driver finds that person, we will be right back." Eileen thought to herself, I could not hear clearly just now, but from the gist of it, she found someone who knows about Marie Tria. Even so, in such a small, dangerous neighborhood so late at night. "If I am in danger here, what will you do? Drive the carriage away?" "And the driver, do you know how to drive a carriage? Can he find his way back on his own?" "No, but I will try somehow. If the carriage overturns, we will all die, you know that, madam." An attendant came rushing over. "The person named Andy, they ran away, they pushed past me." Margarita and Eileen exchanged knowing glances. "Did you see which way they ran?" "They ran deep into the alley, so I could not completely." Eileen shouted, "Which alley?" The attendant quickly pointed in that direction. "That alley over there." Suddenly, she realized something. She quickly said loudly, "Right now. Take me exactly where I point." "Yes." In the dark, narrow alley, a thin, frail girl walked trembling. She took each step slowly. That guy. That guy is trying to catch me again. I have been hiding so carefully for over 5 years. She carefully climbed the steps. I thought it was safe to show my face now. But he is a nobleman. Noblemen can't come here. They do not even know this place. Suddenly, her hand slipped off the step. Just then, a hand grabbed hers. Andy Bryan. Right, Eileen stared at the girl. Just a minute later, the girl was taken away. Please, spare me, I swear, I won't tell anyone, please, but all her struggles were useless. Stay still, Margarita asked Eileen, puzzled, how did you know? At the end of the road Andy ran down. There is an entrance leading to the sewers. I used to go that way often to avoid the guards. Because it is easy to get to the outskirts of the capital from there, so I guessed if she wanted to get out, it would be from this exit. Rita was surprised. You remembered the route in the sewers. Andy was suddenly pushed towards Eileen. The girl looked scared. Rita said coldly, Count Grey. Andy begged in fear, please, madam, spare my life, I swear I have not told anyone a word. Eileen thought to herself, judging by that reaction, it is clear she is connected to the Grey family, but what is it? There is something. Rita bluntly put the story aside. You go outside and wait. Yes, I will wait outside. I heard you need money. If you truthfully answer my questions, I will give you enough to settle down wherever you go, and I will ensure your safety. How does that sound? Andy was a little flustered. You want to know what? After they finished talking, Andy left. Then, if you will excuse me. She slowly stepped out of the carriage. Contrary to her scared appearance just now, Andy now looked cheerful and happy. Once I have arranged the meeting, I will send Madam a letter with the location. Eileen also understood. Looks like everything's settled, but the meeting. Who is she planning to meet? Let us get going. Yes, Madam. What Rita wants to find out is the exact cause of Marie Tria's death. If Andy knew the cause for sure, she would not need to arrange contact with another person. So the meeting she mentioned means Rita's next source will be a doctor who knows the real cause, or the cremator who handled the body. Thinking of this, the name Leon popped up in Eileen's mind. If we could maintain some kind of business relationship, getting information would be much easier. But since Lord Ian took him away, we will probably never see him again. Returning to the palace, Ian expressed his anticipation. I have been waiting for you. How are you feeling? Eileen was a little surprised. I am fine. Then I will check your wound in a little while. Yes. Silence suddenly fell. Ian spoke up proactively. I should not have brought up the story from the Glosh War and that night too. I should not have gotten so angry. I apologize. He stared down at the teacup in his hand. But should not you still be suspicious of me? Immediately after, Ian realized. I have decided to assume you are monitoring Count Grey. If that is true, then at least for now, our goals are the same. At first, I suspected you were an enemy of the Count. But a person with eyes like yours would not harm her. So can I check your wound now? Yes. Eileen quickly took off her clothes for Ian to examine. Are you ready? I am ready. Ian gently held the cloth and wiped the wound. He frowned uncomfortably. You really do not want to go back to see the doctor? Eileen was scared. No. It is going to sting quite a bit. I will close my eyes, so do not worry. Eileen trembled from the stinging. Her hand unconsciously searched for something to relieve the fear. Finally, she tightly grabbed Ian's sleeve. Even though it hurts a lot, it is necessary before bandaging it. If you get cold from exposing your skin. I have already lit the fireplace, so it should warm up soon. After I clean the wound, I will apply medicine. That part will also hurt a lot. Please endure a little more. Eileen gritted her teeth and endured. Ian reached out to comfort her. Your teeth are about to break. Bite my finger. This is the last part. It is really done after this part. Ian quickly bandaged Eileen. Then gently kissed her hair. And slowly backed away. The last bandage is complete. It is all done. Thank you for taking care of me, and you even kept your eyes closed the whole time. It was nothing, and it was not bothersome at all. Anyway, I won't force you anymore, but as I said before, I won't let you die either. Anyway, you will have to come to my room every few days after work. Why? The burn needs to be re-bandaged frequently, and since you refuse the doctor, I have to do it. Eileen wondered, how often? I have something that can help you. Ian opened the secret door. I have arranged it, but it is not something easy to look at. I hope you can overlook it. Looking at the scene before her, Eileen was constantly shocked and panicked. Before her stood a disheveled man with blood all over his feet. Eileen silently called out, Leon. The man stared at her. She slowly entered the dark room. Blood was still smeared under the carpet. Ian stepped forward. Wait. He covered the bloodstain with his white coat. He reassured Eileen, it is okay. I thought you wanted a chance to talk to this guy. Well, I will leave now. If you have anything you want to ask him, feel free. I have tied him up tightly. He won't dare to do anything to you. Eileen thought to herself, tied up tightly. After you are done talking, his fate will be up to you. You choose, kill him or spare him. The young man still kept his head down, ignoring Eileen calling his name. You are Emily's son, right? As soon as he heard his secret exposed, Leon's face darkened. Seriously. Facing Eileen's unwavering gaze, Leon could only sigh helplessly. The child the Count hid away is me. Leon smiled wryly. A maid saying that the moment we meet. It is not fair. The information you gave me, is it true? How did you contact Duke Mirabel's side? Does Lord Leberk know all the details of this? Leon hesitated a little. Then he said breathlessly, they went to find someone who looked like you. I did not report to Lord Baron. I kept everything a secret. Hearing that, Eileen also understood. So, Lord Leberk has not allied with the Mirabel family. That is the answer I needed. Your fate will be handed back to Lord Ian. Leon stood up abruptly upon hearing that. Wait. Aren't you curious, don't you want to know how? How I killed Emily. After he finished speaking, he sneered. Ignoring the dazed Eileen. Sounds like you are stalling for time, but okay. Then. You can try apologizing to Emily. In that case, maybe I will let you live. Faced with that suggestion, Leon suddenly fell silent. Eileen stepped forward. What is wrong? Why can't you do it, you just need to lie. Just that. Leon gave a bitter smile. Maid, is that really what you want? A fake apology. Eileen recalled the fallen flower in the puddle the other day. No. I do not dare. Do I have the right to demand an apology anymore? What did I do wrong? Suddenly, Eileen stepped forward and decisively used the knife to cut the ropes binding Leon's hands. That action also stunned Leon. He wondered and asked why. I want to check something with you. The person who took care of Marie Tria's funeral and the doctor who confirmed her death, are they still alive? It would be great if you could get a list of the people who opened the coffin before the funeral. Does that mean you will let me live until I can honestly apologize? Eileen said firmly, go. Leon was helpless, but he did not know what else to do. His blood-stained feet quickly walked away, leaving Eileen in the dark room. It was late at night, but the palace was still brightly lit. Eileen was listlessly looking at her maid uniform. It shrunk to the size of children's clothes. So this is the meaning of bullying. They will probably get bored after a while. She tiredly lay down on the bed. Tomorrow I will have to ask for a spare maid uniform again. Then she burrowed into the blanket. I am so tired. A long day gradually came to a close. Tomorrow has arrived. Eileen was leisurely walking in the hallway with a few sprigs of flowers in her hand. Suddenly, a voice rang out. It is you. The one who leaves those flowers every morning. Eileen was suspicious. Olga, what kind of flower is that? Where did you get it? Is it poisonous? I am sorry, what are you saying? Don't pretend to be innocent. No, no. It is not like that. I just picked wildflowers in the garden. Ista Olga shouted, don't lie. She immediately pounced on Eileen, catching her off guard. Eileen was scared. Are you okay? Ista Olga grabbed Eileen by the neck. Confess quickly, you little rat. Who sent you here? What do you mean? I do not understand. You do this on purpose every time. Only that kind of flower. Because of that flower, the madam's condition. Margarita suddenly appeared. My condition, what are you talking about? What is wrong with it? Rita asked Olga, what are you doing in front of my room? She immediately said, Madam. Bringing in that flower from an unknown source. Did the madam really permit it? Isabel listened worriedly, not knowing what was happening here. And if I did permit it, then what? Rita's words made Isabel think. Why is Rita's condition like that? That is, madam, it could be poisonous. Isabel did not expect Olga to think this flower was poisonous. Since when have snowdrops been mistaken for poison? Rita scolded Olga, poisoned, watch your words. That flower is always given to me by the person I cherish most. Then why, since that flower appeared? Why, madam? Olga hesitated and continued, gradually. A longing for someone who does not exist. What does that turn into? Does it haunt your heart? Listening to what Olga said, Isabel was petrified. Rita looked at Isabel. Hey, Belle, have you ever wondered why you chose that flower to give me in the first place? Just keep bringing it to me. Rita bent down to pick up the flower and turned away. Don't forget. That is the only flower I need. Olga approached Isabel to apologize. I am sorry. I must have been too sensitive. I did not realize. But, Olga reached out to help Isabel up. Could you exchange it for a different kind of flower, please, I beg you? Isabel's work for today was done. Now all that was left was to ask for a maid uniform. Isabel told herself, it is okay. If I just do better from now on. Suddenly, a voice said, that is her, and a bucket fell from above. The water in the bucket drenched Isabel. The bucket fell to the floor with a loud noise. Ellie looked down in surprise. She called out loudly, Belle. Isabel was soaking wet from head to toe. Run, Ellie chased after her. Hey, you. Isabel picked up the bucket. I have to move this somewhere else. It is too dangerous. Finally, Ellie caught the person who harmed Isabel. Come here. Ellie dragged the person down to Isabel. Belle, are you okay? Oh no, you are all wet, Isabel replied, I am okay, Ellie. Celia, apologize to Belle right now, Celia denied it. It was not me, Beth did it, Ellie said sternly, everyone knows you ordered her to do it. Before I tell the housekeeper, hurry up, Celia protested indignantly, why should I do that, it is not me. She is the only one who thinks that way. She has no right. How can someone who just arrived serve the madam? Hey, you, answer me. What do you know about the madam? Isabel asked herself, why did not I realize, until the decisive moment descended, the words I said, the memories they may have stirred up, may have also caused a person to wither. Why did not I know? See, you can't even answer, if it was not for you, I would have been the personal maid. Seeing Celia trying to escape, Ellie stopped her. Where are you going? Ellie was a little forceful, causing Celia to fall into the puddle. Celia resentfully cursed, damn it, Isabel thought, all this time, to Rita, to a girl who can't even sleep well because she can't. Forget me, what have I given her? Celia's stern voice cursed Ellie, are you crazy? Ellie retorted, why not apologize when you still have a chance? Celia grabbed Ellie's hair. What if my clothes stink now, will you replace them? Ellie pushed Celia away. Perfect, you should get back exactly what you caused her. If being a personal maid means you get to harass other people, do you think any nobleman would really pay attention to you? No way, Celia. Celia went crazy and yelled, what, how dare you? At this moment, Isabel's head felt like it was exploding. What have I done? After Isabel regained her senses, she asked Ellie, where's Celia? Ellie replied, she screamed after I pulled a handful of her hair and ran away. Wait here. I will clean this up. Isabel objected, no, Ellie. You have done too much for me already. I will clean it up myself. Go rest. Ellie looked at Isabel. But. Ellie agreed to do as Isabel said. Okay. I just asked for a uniform, Belle, so. For now, borrow one of my spare maid uniforms. Hurry up. Isabel waited for Ellie to leave. She sat down to wipe the puddle on the floor. She carried the wet cloth listlessly up the stairs. After reaching the first step, Isabel sat down on the floor. And fell asleep without realizing it. Suddenly, Ian appeared. What are you doing here? Isabel was startled and looked up. It is nothing, Lord Ian. Ian asked Isabel, why are your clothes soaking wet? That is not something you need to worry about. After speaking, Isabel turned to leave. Ian spoke, even when you look like a drowned rat. Even when you sit with your head down like someone dead, even if one day I find you lying here, a corpse, if I pass by without a word, would you be satisfied? Each of Isabel's steps began to slow down. Isabel looked straight into Ian's eyes. Lord Ian. Even if you are imposing someone else's image on me, please stop. Even if you are imposing someone else's image on me, please stop. Ian said nothing and walked closer. He took Isabel's trembling hand. Wait, can you give me a little time to talk? If you put on my cloak and blanket, you will warm up quickly. Isabel took Ian's cloak and thanked him. After Isabel had settled down, Ian said, oh, I have wanted to ask you for a long time. Are you? Looking for death? Last time at the factory, and even today, the way you treat your own body, it feels like you do not care about living or dying. Please answer me. You want to die, right? Not seeing Isabel say anything, Ian turned to look at her. At this moment, Isabel began to speak her thoughts. I thought there was something I needed to do. But there are more people around Rita than I expected. Then, if the reason God gave me life again was not for some great purpose, but just a coincidence, is there any reason for me to keep living? Ian looked at the necklace and confided. When I was 15, I received help from a maid. She saved me when I was dying from a gunshot wound. This pendant holds her portrait. She was also Count Grey's personal maid. After that, we exchanged letters occasionally, but one day, I could not contact her anymore. She had passed away. If you die now, maybe I will have to hang another pendant. Still not understanding what Ian was saying, Isabel asked, why? I do not know. I want to know too. Ian turned and said kindly. So, please, do not die. Please, Ian's worried and sad face was clear. Seeing that, Isabel replied, I am not sure either, but... Ian interrupted Isabel. I can't allow you to die. Isabel of the past life, the person I used to be and now remember, is she really someone so precious to be remembered? My back hurts so much. Could you help me change the bandage? Before changing Isabel's bandage, Ian politely took a cloth to cover his eyes. I will clean it. Tell me if you can't stand it. Ian gently wiped Isabel's wound. And asked her, does it hurt? When he heard Isabel say yes, Ian said, I will be gentler this time. The wound became more and more painful. Isabel cried out, it hurts too much. Too much to bear. It hurts too much. Ian reached out. He gently touched Isabel's shoulder and softly called, Eileen. Isabel struggled to resist. Let go, if you intend to save me. Eileen, why suddenly? Isabel shouted, no, if you intend to wake me up like that, like a stranger, with an unfamiliar name. Ian held Isabel's hand and would not let her go anywhere. Eileen, wake up, Isabel replied, no, it is not like that. You should have told me exactly what I had to do, and if not. No, otherwise, you should have let me die under the lashes. Seeing Isabel like that, Ian could not bear it, constantly calling the name Eileen. No, do not call me that. It is not like that. Ian hugged Isabel tightly in his arms. Isabel's tears suddenly poured out. She buried her face in Ian's clothes. Then sat down and cried loudly. Are you calm now? Hearing Ian ask, Isabel looked up. Looking into Ian's eyes, Lord Ian. Can you answer me now? Promise me you won't die. Can you promise me that? Okay, I will try to live. But, I have a request. Don't call me Eileen. Belle, please call me that. After that, Isabel returned to her room. Hello, Maid. Hearing someone greet her, Isabel turned around in surprise. Why are you so startled? You are looking for them, right, the survivors? It seems there are only 2 survivors left. A woman named Andy, and the person in charge of handling the bodies. Those who followed Marie Tria were all wiped out within a year. At this rate, it would not be strange if the last 2 died tomorrow. Someone who can bury a death without leaving a trace. The real culprit is probably Count Grey. That is for sure. So why do I still feel like a piece is missing, but... What is your relationship with that guy? You two are more than just acquaintances, right? Be careful around him. You saw how crazy his eyes became when he shot my hand. If you are done talking, then go. On the way out, ask Lord Ian to arrange guards for those 2. Hey, yes, go ahead. Wait, don't push me, I will go myself. Isabel locked the door tightly. Isabel stood silently, thinking about something. A little later, brushing everything aside, she closed her eyes to rest for a bit. In her sleep, Isabel drifted, I wonder. Would it be okay if I occasionally wrote letters to you? A memory from long ago stirred. Of course, young master. The familiar gaze looked at her. For a long time, it suddenly surged up. At Ian's room, Lord Ian, why are you sleeping here? Ian woke up tiredly. You are back, any progress? Cern replied, yes, actually, there is. Finally, I found someone who said they once exchanged the ring, although it seems the store closed soon after. I will explain the details later, but... How much did you drink? Did something happen? Someone promised, Cern exclaimed. A promise. Ian continued to pour wine. I can't trust that promise. Finishing speaking, Ian drank the glass of wine he had just poured. Then Ian lay back on the chair. How can I be sure that promise will be kept? Cern looked towards Ian. It has been a long time since I have seen him this drunk. At that time, his eyes. I thought that part of his personality had disappeared long ago. Turns out he was just hiding it very well. The next morning, Isabel went to a flower shop near her house. Just as she opened the door and entered, she unexpectedly met Ian there. The flower shop employee greeted Isabel warmly. Welcome. Ian approached and asked Isabel, you are looking to buy flowers, Belle, she continued, yes, I am looking to buy some to put in the madam's room. What an interesting coincidence. I also came to admire the flowers. Can you help me choose? Ian's courteous action of offering his hand made the flower shop employee admire him. Isabel gently placed her hand on Ian's hand. Of course. Do you like this one? Yes, it looks sturdier than the other ones. I do not know if it suits your taste. Ian's affectionate gaze looked at Isabel. I like it too. After all, the only person who really knows the kind of flowers I want is you. Hearing that, Isabel was flustered. There is something I should tell you. Ian led Isabel to the apple stand. Picking up an apple, he said, the method is very simple. Choose 11 of the most withered ones. Give me 11 apples. The fruit store owner suddenly grabbed Isabel's hand, asking sternly, who are you? Ian immediately snatched his hand away, smiling. Eileen. The store owner gave a forced laugh. Oh my, please forgive me. My legs sometimes lose strength. Old age is coming. If you brought her here, then things must have changed. Ian continued, I will update you about Nova later. Meet in person. Today's message. The young lady requested you to visit when you have time. Ian turned to leave. I understand. That is enough for today. See you again to buy more, sir. When I am not here, you can contact the superiors like just now. I will also return the ribbon to you, so please keep it with you. Last time, it was because you dropped it that I was able to find you. Isabel received the ribbon and thanked Ian. Yes, thank you, sir. Should I give you a few more, so you can comfortably drop them, that way I can always find you? Seeing Isabel flustered, then, Ian said, I am just kidding. Just teasing. Ian's teasing made the atmosphere in Isabel's heart a little more pleasant. Ian hesitated. Last night. You promised something you did not need to promise. Perhaps it is not enough to repay. But in return, I will give you a wish ticket that you can use with me whenever you want. So please keep the promise you made last night, no matter what happens. If it is within my capabilities, I will do anything. Isabel brought the flowers she had just bought to Rita's room. A displeased voice rang out, what did you just say? I said I brought different flowers. I placed a recurring order at the flower shop. Every day there will be flowers delivered to the door of your room. As for those flowers, you won't be able to find them again, even if you want to. Because I have trampled every last one under my feet. Rita went crazy, grabbed Isabel by the collar, and cursed. Useless maid. Rita gritted her teeth, cursing repeatedly, useless maid. Even if you do not like it, but if it is for your sake, I will do anything. Bringing snowdrop flowers is for my benefit, you must never forget that flower. I will help you. Until the day you achieve everything you want, and until the moment you feel you can finally let go arrives. I will always be by your side, madam. Hearing this, Rita released Isabel's collar. Rita shouted, Belle Allet. Isabel quickly replied, yes, madam. Get out, right now. I will be back tomorrow. Rita picked up the flower Isabel had just bought. She threw it violently on the ground, and tore the flower to pieces. No, I will never forget, no matter what. Anyone who is related to my mother's death, I must tear them apart. After Isabel left, outside there was a voice saying someone wanted to meet Rita. Madam, it is Olga. I will come in. Rita snapped, what is it? Do you still remember, you said you wanted to check if any maids requested new buttons. Not buttons, but someone asked for a new maid uniform. Should I take back the current one and check if any buttons are missing? Rita turned and asked, who is it? Olga replied, it is Belle Allet. That evening, Isabel went to see Ian, to ask some things about the Countess. During the meal, Ian shared, I only found out because Leon requested protection. The current Countess believes that Marie Tria was murdered, and has been trying to meet Marie Tria's friend, Andy, to look for evidence, since most of the other people involved with her have been killed. But it has been more than 2 weeks and there is still no news. Ian advised Isabel, wait a little longer. Count Grey is still in the south. So it is not possible to act impulsively right now, so for now. Would you like to try this dish? Isabel sighed, but honestly, I do not feel hungry. Ian continued, even so, you need to eat enough to recover quickly. I know that, but... Seeing Cern eating heartily, Ian said, Cern, can you say something? You have to eat. Even I can tell your strength has decreased recently. Your physical strength has decreased a lot. When I saw you running the other day, you did not look. Ian irritably interrupted Cern. That is enough, stop. Anyway, eating enough is the top priority. Ian placed the dish right next to Isabel and said, eat this too. Isabel refused, leave it there. Ah, and also. Isabel tiredly turned her face away. No more. Ian still tried to get Isabel to eat. He pushed the plate of cake towards Isabel. Isabel glanced at the plate of cake. This one is also delicious. This one too. Seeing Isabel just staring and remaining silent. Ian pressed, what is wrong? Isabel hesitated, nothing. Isabel tried a dish on the table. It is good, right? Cern smiled. Right, try this one too, and this one. A few days later, a letter finally arrived from Andy. She is demanding a large sum of money. It seems she's already received a lot and won't agree unless we pay more. Reading the letter, Isabel was a little puzzled. Didn't she receive enough that day already? That is strange. Isabel immediately brought the letter to the madam's room. Madam, it is Belle. A voice inside rang out, come in. Rita reminded Isabel, leave the letter on the table. I heard you asked for a new maid uniform. I am also planning to redesign them. Did you know that? How timely. I only asked because my uniform was damaged. Rita continued, ah, that is right. That is what you wrote in the application. You even lost a button, did not you? Hearing that, Isabel was flustered. Huh, I did not realize. That you knew. The truth is, Isabel only recently discovered that the cuff button had fallen off, and Isabel had never mentioned it when asking for a new uniform. Don't tell me. Isabel suddenly remembered what happened the night before. Did it fall off then? So, is Rita holding it now? You are my personal maid. Of course I have to know. When the new uniforms are ready, I will make sure you receive it first. Isabel replied, thank you for your thoughtful concern. When returning, Isabel decided to check the button issue again tonight. She quickly sneaked into the room. Tonight was unusually quiet. Isabel looked towards the drawers. If Rita really has my button, it will be here, perhaps. Not here. Probably not. Ah, now I remember. Back when Madame Diana was alive, when I was cleaning here, I once saw a hidden compartment under the drawer. At that time, I thought I did not have the right to look, so I skipped it. Opening that drawer, Isabel saw a book inside. This is Madame Diana's diary. This diary and these letters are all Madame Diana's. Isabel just picked up the book. When she heard someone outside, she quickly closed the drawer and ran away quickly. Luckily, Isabel was not discovered by anyone. Returning to her room, Isabel was so tired that she was panting. Somehow, I brought them with me. It is okay, Rita probably does not even know there is a secret drawer in the cabinet. Isabel lit a candle. She opened the diary. She skimmed through the diary, but only saw Madame Diana's daily records, nothing special. There was not even a single line in the last 10 days of her life. Isabel temporarily closed the diary. I will read it again later. Meanwhile, at the Fortune Circus waiting room, okay, that is enough. With this kind of medicine. Margarita, that woman. Time passed, and it was now March. Every year in March, the Empire holds a royal ball, attended by all the nobles. And that is to celebrate Prince Ferdinand's birthday. All the maids were bustling. Prepare the extra dinner, what is going on? One of them spoke up, didn't you hear? It is for the guests who are still staying at the mansion. Most people have already left to prepare for the ball. Only a few people are left. That ball. But is not it still a long way off? They left 10 days early. 10 days, that has never happened before. Yeah, this is the first time. Suddenly, Ellie's ankle was sprained. The box in her hand almost fell. Isabel quickly ran over to help Ellie. Thanks to the help, the box was still safe. Ellie. I will help too. Ellie smiled. It is okay, sister. This will be the last batch already. But. Ellie continued, do not worry. I am very healthy. But. Ellie interrupted Isabel. Belle. These are things I have to carry. Belle, you also have work to do. Go. Finishing speaking, Ellie turned and walked away with the box. Looking at Ellie, the maids asked each other, is that her? Yeah, the one who pulled Celia's hair. So scary. She is being bullied. Because of what happened that day, because of me. Isabel angrily clenched her fist but could not do anything, so she had to apologize to Ellie. Just try a little harder. Once the matter with Andy is resolved, I will definitely help. Isabel immediately went to the flower garden to find Ian. Ian said to Isabel, Andy told us we should meet in 3 days. Has there been any suspicious movement from Andy's side? Ian immediately said, we are still monitoring, but we have not seen anything noteworthy. Isabel sighed. I understand. Why do I feel like she is intentionally acting stubborn? Seeing Ian looking at her strangely, Isabel asked, why? Why are you looking at me like that? Your ribbon is a little loose. Isabel blankly asked, ribbon? If you think so, Isabel was about to take it off and retie it when Ian touched her hair and said, I can retie it. Anyway, I am also good with my hands. Let me do it for you. No matter what happens. You do not have to endure it alone. I will always be here and help you. Hearing Ian's words, Isabel thought, help, it is just that I do not feel at ease with those nice words. My remaining time is too short. Inside the mansion, it was still bustling. The housekeeper, Donna, entered to announce. Everyone's coming in now. Hurry, is the main course done yet? Over there, what about the soup? Yes, it is done. Wait a little longer. Looking at the soup plates that were still low, the housekeeper ordered the maids, fill them up here. Yes, help this side too. Finally, the soup was done.